one point or another, most small businesses require funding. Businesses need speed, they need simplicity and flexibility. Our online form allows you to send in a loan application in just a matter of minutes. We only ask for information that's absolutely necessary. We'll aim to get a decision to you within 24 hours, and if approved, you can have the funds in your account on the very same day. Fleximize has revolutionised the lending process to be fast, flexible and fuss-free. Everything you need for your business.
Good afternoon and welcome to Portman Road. The atmosphere is building for what is going to be another momentous day for Ipswich Town women. The Blue Army will be supporting Joe Sheehan's side as they continue their hunt for promotion this season. It's Ipswich Town women versus Plymouth Argyle women, brought to you by the club's headline digital partner Fleximize, the UK's award-winning lender offering fast, flexible business loans. And it's been some season so far for Town women. Yes, good afternoon and welcome to Portman Road. What is going to be a fantastic afternoon of football. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined by townswoman midfielder Charlotte Fleming and former Blues midfielder Ian Westlake. What a day this is going to be, Charlotte. Are you excited?
Yeah, no, great atmosphere. Obviously the crowd is starting to come in now. Great day, great opportunity for the girls, and it's going to be amazing.
Obviously a disappointing day for yourself to be missing it. How is the injury? How's the rehab going?
Yeah, really good, on track so far, coming up to 4 months post-surgery. Obviously gutted not to be out there, but I'm going to be supporting the girls from the sideline, and I wish them the best of luck today.
Westy, it's going to be another fantastic afternoon at Portman Road, isn't it? The crowd, we're hearing, it's going to be a record-breaking 10,500 and more are going to be here in attendance. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, incredible. It's a great day. Like, I just love that. I've got 2 daughters. I'm so happy they're both coming to support the team. Like, for them just to see that it's nearly, it's 2 years in a row now. It's going to be normal soon just to come and watch women play in their own town. It's fine, they see it on TV, but to see them like in their own town, the ones they support and cheer on, to be playing at Portman Road in front of 10,000, it's magical. Like, I love that it's like it changes their life. Like, it means it's normal for them.
What's the week been like in and around the changing room at training in the week?
Don't get me wrong, obviously the build-up is exciting, but it's been a normal week for us. Our focus is obviously winning the league, and that's been our aim. Obviously it's a pleasure to play at Portman Road, but as far as training and what we do on and off the pitch, it stays exactly the same. And I think we just stay in that routine, and we don't get too high, we don't get too low, and we're able to focus on what we want to achieve.
You touched on it there. This is all about promotion. It's fantastic having the crowd here, but ultimately 3 points are on the line, and we need those 3 points.
Yeah, it's a massive game, obviously, for both sides. I think they need 3 points to stay up. We need 3 points to ultimately try and win the league. And I think it's going to be a great day today, and it's going to be a battle out there. And I think whatever team wants it more, we'll end up getting the 3 points.
Charlotte will be saying it's one game at a time, so we can big them up even more, Westy. It has been an incredible season for the girls' team.
Yeah, unbelievable. They've only lost 1 game all season. That's unheard of in any league at any level. Yes, I just interested to hear Charlotte say it's been the same week, a normal week. Like, you have 2 sorts of managers, right? Ones that go, this is a big week, right, and they gear you up and they build on it all week, or ones that try and play it down. And McKenna's the same way as Joe is, obviously plays it down, level head, and sort of does it that way. Like, I quite like hyping it up and getting, do you know what I mean? Getting it going a bit, but everyone does it in their own way.
Absolutely right. This is the second time Town women are playing at Portman Road, and if it's anything like the first game, we're in for a real treat this afternoon. Incredible scenes last year against Chatham Town, and I'm delighted to say we're joined by the manager, Joe Sheehan. Joe, hoping for a same performance, same atmosphere, same result in the end.
Yeah, we hope so. I'm sure we've just seen it was a hugely successful day last year. There was so much about the day that was successful from the crowd to the performance to the outcome of the result. And yeah, if it's anything like that this time round, we'll be equally as pleased.
And a record-breaking crowd for the women's team here at Portman Road, over 10,500. It's going to be an incredible atmosphere for the girls to play in.
Yeah, it was incredible last year, and I think to increase that number again is a testament to the work the team and the staff and the players have put together over the last year, because, you know, that could have quite easily been a one-off. But clearly, you know, we'll surpass that, which just shows, yeah, the growth. The success we've continued to build on and the appetite for it in our region.
Charlotte said that it's been business as usual in training. Obviously everyone's excited, but what's it like for you as the manager?
Yeah, it's something we definitely look forward to, but it's not something you think about before this week. You know, each game we play is so crucial to us, and we prepare really consistently. And yeah, when it was coming into game week, obviously there's an element of excitement that might be a bit different. But the focus has been the same, the intensity in our training week, the processes we put in place have been exactly the same as they normally are. We've prepared the same, obviously just at a different place, and hopefully, yeah, we'll put in a really strong performance.
The atmosphere in here is going to be absolutely incredible, and I saw some of the girls on the pitch look very relaxed. They were doing a TikTok before the game even started, really soaking up that atmosphere and really taking it in.
Yeah, I think we're a relaxed team. I think we focus every day on being really good every day. We've got a lot of players that are part of this fixture last year. We've also got a lot of players that, you know, we've said previously this week that have played at a high level and have been in, you know, high pressure games, played in front of good crowds against big teams. So we feel like as a playing staff we're well equipped for games like this, which is why potentially it looks so relaxed and calm.
We're going to take a look at the team lineup right now, the team that Joe has selected for today's game. Just talk us through your thoughts behind this, Joe. 3 changes from the trip away for the 3rd time against Gwalior.
Yeah, we lost Shauna last week, who started to an injury, which was a real shame for her and for us. So Lucy comes in to replace her. That was obviously the change that we'd made last week. Tash comes back into our team, replacing replacing Lucy Watson. Trying to think who else we changed from last week. Summer Hughes replaces Maisie Barker, and yeah, Summer played in this game last year. Tash played in this game last year. I think 7 of that 11 started in this game last year, and only really Megan for Maria is that change that would have made it 8. And then yeah, Nat, Grace and Ella Rutherford, play here for the first time that we recruited at the end of last season.
What was the advice given to the girls that haven't played here yet, the experienced ones, like you just said, 7 of the starting 11 are going to be playing here for the second time? What kind of advice they pass on to the girls about taking it all in?
Yeah, I'm not sure there'd be anything particular in terms of advice for the occasion, because like we said, we've got a lot of players that played in this fixture before, so I think each of those players have got their own experiences that they share from previous. But yeah, I think in dealing with today's occasion, I'm not sure. We've got a lot of players that need that extra bit, because I say we're familiar with this already.
And Ruby Seavey has been signed, a young talent from Arsenal, plenty of experience for such a young age. What can she bring from the bench today?
She's a really exciting player. She's someone that is highly thought of. There was a lot of interest in her actually from huge football clubs, and not just in this country but abroad, and we're so excited by her. She's a young player with bags of potential. She's really athletic, she's tricky, she takes players on, she's really explosive, and adds a lot of competition for Sophie, who we know has been a star in our team in that position, and someone that we're really keen to invest in and support, and we feel she'll have a vital contribution from now until the end of the season.
Charlotte, I asked you before we came on air, like what initiations happen? What are they like at Ipswich Town women's team? What do you have to do?
Oh, you just got to sing your heart out. You're there, you put on the spot, you got to pick your song. I mean, we've all got awful vocals, but it's a bit of fun, it's a bit of a laugh.
That's the kind of camaraderie you need in your team, Joe, isn't it? The laughter, the jokes, and then it gets serious when you step onto the pitch.
Yeah, our group is so tight, they're so together. Charlotte said we've had some good vocals and not less so vocals, but yeah, they're a team that are so together, so committed, so tight. They play for each other, such a good bond between them, and that absolutely lays a foundation for our performances.
Well, let's take a look at the league table then, going into today's game. Obviously, #United play as well. You've got the 2 games in hand, 3 points behind them. We were saying to Charlotte earlier, the occasion's fantastic, but the 3 points are vital.
Yeah, I think the performance is vital. We don't look too much at this. I don't think I've looked this in a while, and I don't think the players... No, I don't. I know where we're at, and I know how many goals we've scored, and I know what we need to do, and like we've said, we just stress every day, working really hard every day, being consistent with what we do every day, and that gives us the best opportunity to perform. And if we perform well, we have a good chance of winning games.
Joe, thank you so much for joining us on what's going to be a very busy match day. As we said, it's a record-breaking crowd here at Portman Road, and Dave Vant has been in the fan zone, soaking up all the atmosphere.
Curly, we're in the fan zone, and of course the women's team take on Plymouth Argyle here at Portman Road. Over 10,000 supporters in the stands cheering on the girls. Let's go and find out some of the girls' favourite players. Who's your favourite town player?
I don't have one.
Not have one?
No.
Right, so what do you think the score's going to be today?
I reckon 2-0.
2-0. Favourite player?
Sophie Pescott.
What's the score going to be?
2-0.
2-0. Favourite player?
Natasha Thomas.
Yeah, what's the score going to be today?
3-0.
3-0. Favourite player?
Natasha Thomas.
Score going to be?
4-0.
4-0. That's what we love to hear. Favourite player?
Natasha Thomas.
Score going to be?
5-0.
5-0. Tash going to score?
Yeah.
Love to hear it. Favourite player?
Natasha Thomas.
Score going to be?
3-0.
How many is Tash going to score?
2.
2. Love it. All together. Blue Army! Blue Army! Kickoff is only round the corner. We need score predictions as soon as possible. What's the score going to be today, madam?
2-1.
2-1. Score today?
3-0.
3-0. Score going to be?
2-0.
2-0. What's the score going to be today?
10-0.
10-0 to the Super Blues. What's the score going to be today?
7-0.
7-0. We love to hear it, Curly, over here. So sorry to bother you. What's the score going to be today?
3-2.
3-2. Awesome. We're coming over this way. What's the score going to be today?
Huh? What? Huh?
What's the score going to be today?
3.
4-1. 3.
2.
3-2. Love it. Awesome. We're coming over this way. Hi, sir. Lovely to see you. What's the score going to be today?
10-0.
10-0. We've got 10-0 over here, Curly. Imagine the scenes at Portman Road. Over 10,000 cheering on. 10 goals. I'd love to see it myself. Curly, back to you. Pitchside. Upper Town.
Brilliant stuff there from Dave Van. It's a conveyor belt of excellent guests here on Town TV this afternoon, because we've just been joined by the skipper, Boz. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, not too bad.
We said it to Charlotte, obviously both out injured. When can we see you back out on that pitch?
I don't want to
get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I think the aim at the moment is to hopefully be available for the bench for the MK Dons game. That might be pushing it a little bit, so my aim is to be back before the end of the season and hopefully make some sort of appearance in the Cheltenham game, which is the last game.
Obviously you'll be very disappointed not to be out there this afternoon, but you've passed on the captain's armband to Kyra Robertson. Any words of wisdom? What did you say to her?
No, she's all good. She's all good. She's done it many times before. She's a great leader. We see that, you know, regardless if she's wearing the armband or not. So she'll be all fine. I have given her what to give the toss. So heads or tails.
What did you go for?
I've gone for heads.
Okay.
She said I'm very good at it, so she wants to stick with me telling her what to. So she's come up to me before and said, right, heads or tails. I won last week apparently, so because I went for tails. So
well, that's all that matters today. As long as we win the coin toss, we're all right. Charlotte, what is the team spirit like in the camp?
It's great. Like Joe said earlier, the togetherness within this team is we're so bonded, we're so connected, and I think no matter who we face or where we face them, we always come together as a group, and I think that's the best thing about this. We're a family out there, and whether you're on the pitch, off the pitch, in the stands, we're all united as one.
Well, what kind of game are you expecting today? Because obviously we've got a bumper crowd here, so the girls are going to put on a show.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be quite an exciting game, hopefully. You know, Plymouth are here they've got other motivations, you know, they're fighting to stay up as much as we're fighting for promotion. So they're not going to be easy. They're going to come with a very clear game plan that they're going to want to try and execute. It's going to be quite a tough game, but you know, I've got every faith in the girls to go out there and put in a great performance.
We can take a look at the remaining fixtures that Town women have got until now, until the end of the season. You earmarked that game against MK Dons. It's going to be that typical cliche in football, isn't it, Boz, Charlotte? One game at a time. But for those fans out there that are here today are getting very excited about the possibility of promotion, which is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. I think, you know, we've done so well this season because we have followed that cliche. We have taken one game at a time, and I was saying earlier that we haven't actually had too much time to think about what a great occasion today is going to be, because we've had so many important games leading up to it that we've so focused on throughout the week, you know, trying to get the 3 points. So it's only this Tuesday at training that we've managed to turn our attention to this game and what, you know, the possibility of today is going to be. But yeah, it is one game at a time, and we're just going to keep ticking them off, and before you know it, you know, the season will be done, and what will be will be.
What would it mean to get promoted, to bring this club into the Women's Championship for the very first time in its history?
I think getting promoted for any team is an amazing achievement. I think especially for Ipswich, they've missed out the last 2 years, and I think they were so close to it. So I think it would mean more to this club than many people would ever imagine and realise. And I think, touch wood, I think we deserve it. I think we work hard. I think our attitude, our mindset, our discipline when it comes on and off the pitch as a group, we have abundance of it. And I think as a group, we deserve it this year, and I think we're going to go out there, we're going to put on a show, and we're going to continue to show that to all the fans.
How proud have you been to captain this side, especially this season as well? I'm sure when you wear the armband, every game means so much, but the unbeaten run, obviously it came to an end, but it's just been incredible. Yeah,
it's been an incredible season to be a part of. You know, I've been here for quite a few years now, going on, you know, 6 years, so to see the growth that the women's setup has had and our team has had, you know, it makes me so proud every time I'm able to step out onto the pitch and lead the girls out. And yeah, this season's been great. I think we've put in some great performances, but I think we've learned how important it is to be so together, like Charlotte said, with such a close-knit group, and it's been so special to be a part of.
Charlotte, final question for you. What's Boz like as a captain? Don't make her blush.
She's all right. Nah, but Boz is a great captain. She's a leader on and off the pitch. Whether she's injured or whether she's playing, she gives her heart to Ipswich, and I think us girls can go to her, you know, in the darkest of days or in the lightest of days, and I think that's what you need from a captain. And you know, we're so lucky in this group as well to have so many other leaders. So when the likes of Boz unfortunately can't be on the pitch, Kyra will step up, or other players will step up. But you know, that comes from Boz, that comes from us looking up to her and wanting to aspire to be like her. So no, she's a great leader, and she'll definitely be missed out there on the pitch.
Absolutely. Well, last year Town put on a performance and beat Chatham Town 5-0 in front of 10,000 Blue supporters. And Natasha Thomas and Sophie Peskett have been reflecting on what was another historic day at Portman Road.
It was such a great day. I mean, when I woke up, it was just one of those days where you just wanted to get to Portman Road already.
Yeah, I remember being really overwhelmed, like coming on the coach here and seeing the amount of fans that were actually in the fan zone. It was crazy because, yeah, obviously we see it on the men's travel day, but to get anywhere near what the men get like this.
Yeah, and even just look at how many people are there as well. Just us walking out of the tunnel. It was crazy because when we then kicked off, it didn't feel like there was over 10,000 people there. Not because of the noise, but the fact that there was over 10,000 people there, and I didn't feel scared to show what we could do. It was strange. The roar when we were in our little crowd, though, from the fans was phenomenal, because we were just like, oh my goodness.
A bit nervous,
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's probably when they were singing.
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, I just got a through ball and I saw the keeper was to one side, so I thought, let's just have a go here, and it hit the post and went in. So I think for me, it just felt really good, and because I've been at this club for so long now, that was a real special moment for me. Kiss
To
in
be
the
fair, I
back.
did not plan to kiss the back at all, but I don't regret it at all. And it was obviously just a spur of the moment thing, and it was, I'd say, one of the top moments in my career so far. Like,
we done what we set out to do. We'd like to think we impressed fans. We got even more fans coming through.
This time round as well, we are in a promotion push, and that is going to make it more exciting.
We want to ensure the fans can see the improvement that we've got, the hard work that gets put in from all the coaching staff, Joe, our S&C coaches, and just to show that we've stepped up again.
As you can hear, the atmosphere is really building here. Dave Vant is back on the mic, giving these fans all the information they need ahead of today's game. Welcome back, Westy. You've been on the subs bench for a couple of minutes. It's getting very loud in here. Charlotte, the last time out against Gwalior, it was the third time we're trying to get this game done, but most importantly again, 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm aware, it weren't the prettiest game of football, and I don't think we played our best, but that's the way that football goes sometimes, and no matter how you play, as long as you win the 3 points, that's all that matters at the end of the game.
I think that's right there, West, isn't it? It doesn't matter how the performance goes, but when you're going back all the way down to Wales again for the third time, just to go and get those 3 points is the most important thing.
Yeah, when it gets to this end of the season, performances, as much as you want them, they go out the window really. It's about points, and Joe said earlier, he knows what he wants to get, how many he needs, and I'm sure, I think you were winning there when it got cancelled one of the times, the other time they went all the way there and didn't get them, so like just to get those points in the bag's brilliant, job done, and then move on.
What are those away trips like, away with the girls? What would you guys get up to?
I mean, they're fun. It's time for us all to be together. I think, you know, it's always difficult going away and playing teams away on their home turf, but I think we thrive off it. I think we love it, and to go away and win and beat people at their home ground, it's a great feeling.
And just talk to us about Sophie Peskic. She's having an incredible season. The gaffer was bigging her up as well. What's she like day in and day out at training?
She's a normal human being. Yeah, she's one of my best mates in the club, and I think, you know, just watching her thrive, she loves these sorts of games to really showcase her talent and what she can do. She's someone who's quite calm and controlled on the ball. She loves to take on players, and she doesn't mind a shot or two.
And she scored her 50th and 51st goal against Gwalior, and she's already on 15 for the season out of 17 games. It's a really impressive goal record.
Yeah, brilliant. It's goals and assists. She gives you it all. She plays out on the right, and they leave her wide. She sort of has not a free roll, but she's got licence to stay out really wide, and they just feed her the ball. And she's not so small, but she's short, and she's just so agile. So it's an acceleration over 2-3 yards. She skips past people like they're not there, and it's yeah, you see on the clips here, she just goes past people, and she seems to pick the right options all the time. Sometimes it's a cross and she sets goals up, and like that last one, sometimes it's a finish and she seems to always find the corner.
We know where the back of the net is, don't we? We're scoring for fun at times in this league.
Yeah, I think that's the aim, isn't it? Goals win you games, and ultimately you have to punish teams and you have to capitalise on those opportunities and chances. We've found ourselves in some games 0-0, and it's taken one set piece in order for us to get the 3 points, and that's really what we try to do each week.
And a special mention as well for Natasha Thomas up top as well. I mean, she knows where the net is as well, exactly.
Yeah, we have Tash on the show for some of the Mets games. Tash scores lots of goals. It's not as many as she has this season as she has others, but she does a tough job, right? So when I've gone and watched the women's team this year, every everyone is petrified of them. They sit so far back against them, and there's not space for Tash to get in behind. There's hardly any space for her. So, like you said, most of your goals come in the second half when teams get tired, and it's the runs from deep and more goals from midfield, more goals from wide. And Tash hasn't got the goals just purely on the basis that they're so deep, aren't they? Like, teams are so negative against us because we just petrify teams.
Yeah, I think Tash does a really good job at holding up the ball. She runs out their defence, and credit where credit's due. Tash charges at players. She works incredibly hard. She has a great engine, and I think without Tash's hard work off the ball, it wouldn't allow the likes of Peskett to then go and capitalise and get the goals.
We haven't looked at the league table in too much detail. That's what Joe was saying. But one thing I picked up on the goal difference is far superior to hashtag. So if there were to be a slip up and it goes down to goal difference, I know. I don't want to jinx it, but the goals are counting for like that extra point when you get goal difference as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, goal difference are massive. Some leagues have been won on goal difference, and I think Ipswich last year or the year before, they kind of lost out on goal difference, and I think that's been such a key point for us this year is, we have to beat teams, but in the most brutal way. We almost have to punish them, and we have to, beat teams 13-14-0 in order to give us that stability.
Yeah, but also you say this year, the reason we're better is our strength in depth is nuts.
Yeah.
Like, we signed so many good players, yourself obviously coming in, Ella, we just signed so many good players in the summer, and that's why other years where it's dropped off, now the squad's big enough just to take you through.
Yeah, I think anyone who starts in the starting 11 or anyone who comes off the bench, they're going to do us a job. Everyone brings something different, and I think that's what's so special about this group of girls.
And we just saw the graphic there for the Golden Boot Award. She's right on the heels, isn't she?
Yeah,
she's going to take that home, surely.
Yeah, I have full belief in Peskett to do the job and to get home that Golden Boot, and I think she thoroughly deserves that with how she's played this year.
I'd like to see the stat after the game today, and I reckon she'll be top of that table today.
What kind of game are you expecting this afternoon, Westy?
Boatloads of goals. Boatloads. I honestly think they're near the bottom, right, low on confidence. Their goal difference is the opposite to us. We're plus 57 and they're minus 30 or something silly. So I think in front of 10,000 people, maybe for the first time they've played in front of it, we did it last year, if we score one, it will just start snowballing, and we will see loads and loads of goals.
Yeah, well, we saw plenty of goals in the reverse fixture as well. We'll take a look at some of those now. Very important afternoon for yourself as well, wasn't it, Charlotte? What did you learn from the first game against them?
Yeah, we conceded a goal quite early on into the game, and I think it kind of took us by shock, but we then managed to equalise, go 1-1, and I think going into half-time, the girls got a bit of bollocking from Joe, and, we really had to step it up, and obviously grateful to say, as you can see there, a nice little left-footed volley from myself to go 2-1 up.
Is it still a volley if it comes off your shin?
Hey, steady on there. But no, I think once we got that momentum, I think the goals, as you can see, just started flying in, and we gained the confidence and the belief that we could score as many as 3, 4, 5 past them, and I think that's what they got to take in today's fixture.
Another game that was played inside a stadium, obviously not as many fans there as we're expecting today, but what's it like playing in these different grounds when you get to play in the big stadiums?
Yeah, it's massive. I think it's a huge part of the growth of women's football, being able to be in these opportunities, playing different men's grounds. I think that's what we want more of and consistently more of, but yeah, it's always a great opportunity, and if you can hear the vibe today, it's incredible, and I think the girls are going to have an absolutely amazing time out there today.
Yeah, it's brilliant, West, isn't it, to be pitch side, soaking up the atmosphere, being so close to the girls as they warm up behind us, and the fans now are really starting to come in their numbers.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I hate that it's still like the men's stadium. When they say things like that, it's like, It shouldn't be that. Like, it's just a stadium, right? We can all play in it. Like, you see Arsenal women this year, they've just gone nuts. They're filling it every time they play there, and I just wish it would be the stage where my girls, when they get to a certain age, it's just a football stadium, and it's not a men's stadium, it's not a women's stadium. Like, I just think it's going to be football now, and like you'll see today, and we saw last time they played here, the level now is so good. It's just football.
And the women's game has come on so much. There'll be plenty of young girls out there that will look at you girls as role models. You've said as well, you've got a daughter that's playing. You're becoming, you're the focal point of the women's team, and it's fantastic to have that. How does it feel for you when, kids are coming up and asking for autographs and things like that?
Yeah, it's such a special moment, and I think it makes us female players so incredibly proud that we get to inspire young girls and they get to try and aspire to be like us. And I think that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to be here. We're trying to inspire the next generation of girls. We're wanting them to play football, and to see the numbers of young girls increasing and rising. It's such a pleasure, and it's such a great experience for us to be a part of that journey.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Right, it's not just about Ipswich Town women's team today. Obviously, Plymouth Argyle have got their own goals for the season, trying to avoid relegation. We can hear now from their manager, James Bradley.
A very exciting game at Portman Road. How are you feeling ahead of the tie?
Exactly that, excited. You don't often get to play in stadiums like that in front of what will hopefully be a good crowd as well. So yeah, the excitement levels are building during the week. We had a good session last night. We'll have a good one tonight as well. And then, like you said, get on that bus and do the long travel.
You mentioned there about the fans. Last update from Ipswich was 5,000 tickets sold, and it's only going to be upwards from that. There was 10,000 last year. How do you kind of deal with that from your side and also from a player's side? Because that is a completely different environment to normal.
It's going to be a different environment for me as well. You don't usually get those in academy games, but it's something that I'm really looking forward to. I think, you know, going out and being able to perform in front of a crowd and have that atmosphere is something that all, you know, footballers should thrive under, and all coaches should, you know, aspire to get to that level where, you know, there's lots of people that want to come and watch your team perform, and hopefully we'll do that on Sunday.
The thoughts there of James Bradley, the Plymouth Argyle women's manager. As I said there, Charlotte, I mean, it is about Ipswich Town today, but for these girls who are fighting for their lives at the bottom of the table, it's a great opportunity to showcase their skills in front of a bumper crowd.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for both sides. Both teams have different objectives going into today's game, and both teams really need those 3 points. But regardless, if you're home or away, you can't take away the opportunity to play in front of 10, 12,000 people, and I think they will thrive off that opportunity just as much as we will.
And these are afternoon that these girls won't forget. They'll be telling their children later down the line, I played in front of 10,000 people at Portman Road.
Yeah, of course, and you never know who's here. For the Plymouth girls, like a good performance, and maybe Ipswich sign them next year, or a good performance, there could be other clubs here scouting, so they'll go into this, and it's their chance to show off and perform on a big stage. And some people are just big game players, and hopefully they're Ipswich players today, not Plymouth ones.
Where's their danger come from? Do you know much about the squad, where the threats come from?
Yeah, so centre-half, Caitlin Smith, she's quite a direct centre-half, loves to play ball in behind, so they've got quite rapid front line, quite athletic, and we'll always look for that. So I suppose our back line and our CDMs will have to be waiting on that overhead ball and just being able to assess the ball, assess the flight, and deal with first and second contacts.
They're not going to play on a better surface than this, are they, Westy?
No, and the same for us though.
Yeah.
We're the best footballing team in the league, and you don't get the best pitches, do you? Some of the places you have to play aren't great, so for our girls, this is so good for them. Like, they'll be able to show just quite how good of players they are. At times when you go to other stadiums where the pitches are now rock hard or they're like waterlogged, you can't do it. But here I expect them to put on a real show and show the technical ability as well as all the other things they offer.
Yeah, how much does that help you as players, Charlotte, when you're playing on a Premier League surface?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but there's no excuses. You know, we train 3 times a week to play on pitches like this, and it's just about us making the most of it, you know, capitalising on how big the pitch is and using that space to get the likes of Sophie Peskett and Tash in behind. It's just about calming the nerves, obviously absorbing it all in, but ultimately we're here to play a game of football, and that's all it is.
Well, Charlotte, thanks for joining us. You're going to go and head off and get involved and get in amongst it and be in the changing room. What's that atmosphere going to be like when you step through those doors?
Yeah, I think there's going to be nerves from the girls. I think there's going to be excitement, but ultimately I think it's going to be enjoyment, and I think we're just going to encourage everyone to have an amazing afternoon and just soak it all up, be that sponge, because you're not going to get moments like this often in your career.
Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the afternoon. Right, cheers, we can now hear from Sophie Peskett, who's been speaking to Town TV.
Sophie, back at Portman Road, how's everyone feeling?
Yeah, everyone's really excited. Obviously a big historic occasion, and we're all really buzzing for it.
Obviously some great memories from last year, and you want to draw on all of those today?
Yeah, of course. The game's got a lot more meaning this time around, as we're obviously in a higher position in the league, and at the end of the day we're here for 3 points, and that's what we're here for. So yeah, hopefully we can do enough to get that.
Yeah, a tough opponent in Plymouth. What are you expecting from them today?
They're going to be resilient, they're going to work hard, and you know, they're not going to want to concede lots of goals in front of quite a big crowd. So I think, yeah, they're going to work hard, and they're going to
do what it takes to get anything out of us. So.
Yeah, and important for you all to feed off more than 10,000 fans in here today.
Yeah, of course. I think we need to use all the fans and play against what, as I said, they're going to work hard, and we need to use the crowd to kind of pump us up and use it as a boost rather than kind of being nervous or anything like that.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Oh, have you got a list? No. The thoughts of Sophie Peskett there ahead of what is going to be a fantastic afternoon of football at Portman Road. And we've got another great guest, General Manager Rachel Harris. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. What an exciting day for us in the club. Yeah, it's amazing.
How does it feel to have 10,500 fans here to watch the women's team?
Yeah, I think it's definitely another important step, a milestone in our journey. When we played here last March, we were out of the promotion race, so it's very different for us this season. Obviously striving for that promotion spot and getting up to the championship. So, yeah, I mean, all I can say is a massive thank you for all the fans that are going to come out today and support the team, and yeah, we're just delighted to be here.
How big of an occasion is it, not just for the women's team, but for the football club in general?
Yeah, I think it's massive. I mean, like we say, I think what's really good is that we've replicated it. It's not been just, last season, it was our first ever league game. We get 10,000, we've done it again. And hopefully we've surpassed it this year. So, yeah, it's just testament to all the work that goes in across from all departments of the club. Yeah, it's very much a team effort.
I have to ask, there's a demand for it, right? So we did it last year, we did it this year, everyone loves it. Do you think it's something that we could look to do twice next season maybe, like add it in twice? Because it's like everyone loves it. Like I've got 40 from my grassroots team who are just like so excited. All week they've been buzzing for this. I was just like, could it be offered like more than just once a season maybe?
I mean, yeah, if and we get to the championship, it's something we'll have to look at, just because the regulations in the Women's Championship are higher than obviously the current league that we play in now. So, we can't play on 3G pitches, it has to be a grass pitch. And, I think next season, the Women's Professional League have come out and said that all games will be streamed live on their YouTube channel. So the visibility of, what that gives us as a team, us as a club, so it's going to be a massive audience. So the level just raises, higher quality football as well. So yeah, I think more than once would be great, but yeah, watch this space.
I know Joe was saying that they're not looking past today's game. Obviously, as general manager, you've probably got to look into the future. That's kind of what your role is. What would it mean for this football club to be in the championship? Is there much that needs to change, apart from the stadium and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think it will be, massive for the women's first team, but also for our girls' pathway, which is absolutely crucial to us. We came here last season, played here, and we wanted to be the trailblazers, and we wanted to have that, inspire the community, which I think we absolutely did. So it's now about just kind of growing onto that. Like I've said, games being streamed live just opens up the visibility of this great club, and, that's what we want to achieve. And this is, game one of our last 5 to go for that, massive push. And yeah, we just can't wait for it.
I remember announcing that you were the new general manager on Town TV last year. How have you found the first year at the football club?
Absolutely loved it. I mean, I've said it from day one. I feel so welcome and supported by everyone. I think, Joe and I got to know each other's way of working really quickly, which massively helps setting our goals for this season. And also beyond that, we've got a 3-year strategy now, which I've, been working on recently. So, yeah, I think, as we can see, it's filling up massively. It's just giving me goosebumps just looking at this. But
it's a special club. It gets your claws into you one way or another. I was here as a youth team player, played in the first team. I now volunteer as a coach in the women's programme or in the younger age groups. And now I commentate as well. Once it gets into Ipswich, it's special. They come out 10,000 for the ladies' games, and it's just a special club, isn't it? It's brilliant to have you here and a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you. And for everyone's support, we do feel part of it. We're really integrated, at the training facility, and special thanks obviously to Felixstowe. We would normally be playing this game there, and they're great advocates of our game as well and our team. So yeah, and I think they're here supporting today. So yeah, just massive thank you to everyone.
And thank you for joining us, Rachel. I think you're going to go and join Charlotte and be a part of the team talk. So we look forward to hearing about what happens there. Thank you very much for joining us. Westy, you said it there, it's absolutely fantastic. Like we say, you've got 2 mics, you definitely don't need more than 1 mic, that's for sure. And we're going to take pictures now of the under-21s team that was absolutely brilliant in midweek. They fell behind twice in this game, Westy, but showed great character to come back to draw this one 3-3.
Yeah, fantastic character. They're a really young squad as well. I know the coach, and there's a lot of under-16s that play in this team, and it's brilliant just to see them competing at that level. And like you say, to come back, especially at that age when you have bad results or you find yourself behind, it is big to come back and then draw a game.
And to score 2 late goals in any game is just absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a thriller. You have a big celebration, the change rooms afterwards. It's just a special occasion when you score late goals.
And the pathway for the under-21s to the first team is clear, isn't it now? They know what they've got to do if they want to get into Kieran McKenna's first team.
Yeah, and they integrate loads. That's the best thing. They train together. They play matches against each other, and there's a real pathway from the academy at Ipswich or from the ETC and all the way up the programme to get into the first team. And it's something that I think in the women's programme it's slightly easier. In the men's, it's so hard to find that route through now, but in the women's programme there is a real chance of progressing and getting into the first team.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get into Kieran McKenna's first team, but the under-21s are performing brilliantly. With results like that, I'm sure Kieran McKenna is having a look. As the atmosphere builds here in Portman Road, we can hear the kids screaming, and as you can see, we've been joined by fellow Town TV presenter James Zanadakis and Ipswich Town's newest fan. James, unbelievable that you're here. How is baby Eliza?
She's good. She's been asleep the whole time she's been here, so I hope she's going to wake up for kickoff. This parenting malarkey is easy, isn't it?
Well, it seems like you're managing to do it with one hand. The future Town women's midfielder, what are you hoping for?
Well, she's just been and met Maria Boswell, who has been a bit of an inspiration. I mean, there's not much going on there at the minute. She just sleeps and eats, and I'm hoping that she'll look back on this in years to come with her Ipswich Town shirt. You've got little girls as well. It's an inspiring day this for everyone. Parents.
It's a brilliant day. I'm just hoping. I remember at the end of last season when we all went on the pitch, went to celebrations, and you took a few shots, right? I'm just hoping if she goes on to play football, she's a lot better than you.
I was going to say, what are the genes like in the Zanadakis household? Got any former ballers in there?
Well, I mean, as Westy sort of alluded to there, our family history on this pitch is not... So far, there's room for improvement. Hopefully this is the next generation.
But jokes aside, this is a day that I'm sure she probably won't remember, but you'll have photographs, videos that you can show and say, you were there for the record-breaking crowd here at Portman Road.
That's it, and it's about the parents as well, and as new parents, my wife's just in the corner over there as well, to see these players on the pitch and to take inspiration on what we're able to provide her in the future is hopefully part of today. So we're going to enjoy our match day here. We've been roped in to do a bit of work, but it's all one big family here, isn't it? She's got her full kit on. The socks are in my pocket as well. We'll put them on in a bit and enjoy the game.
Success is for her to grow up and just know that there's a game of football on, and it's not a women's game or a men's game. It's just a game of football, and we go and watch it. And I think that's what we're doing slowly here, which is really good.
I think so. One club moving in one direction is kind of the theme of it.
And there's a special feel here that's different to the Premier League games that we posted here. It feels like a proper family affair. There are so many young kids here looking at their role models out there, probably hoping one day that they can step onto that pitch.
Yeah, and they can. They really can. Like, they could all go and get a team now. They can all go and play, and they've all got a chance. Like, it's so good. Like the women's programme here, and you see, I love what they do with the media at this club. You see a lot of the women on the media. You see a lot of them out in the community working with young girls, and all that just inspires them. And to go and see them on this pitch in front of 10,000, I think that's probably the ultimate inspiration.
And I presume she didn't get a choice of what team she was going to support.
There is absolutely no choice whatsoever. The club didn't give her a choice. They presented her with a kit when she was 3 days old, so she's been welcomed into the family, not just by me, but from everyone at Portman Road as well. So no choices.
I know you joked about it, but how are you finding parenthood? Is it difficult? Is it as tough as they all say? I've seen you jet setting around the world, taking every gig under the sun.
Hey, it's easier for me than it is for my wife. No, what I'll say is this: it's not as hard as people will have you think, but it's still hard. We were up last night 3 or 4 times with her, but then if she's up during the night, she sleeps during the day. But that was it. I was like, what's she going to wear tomorrow? What am I going to wear? My wife? No. But jokes aside, it's difficult, and respect to all the parents out there, but it's manageable. We can all do it.
And as an Ipswich fan, how special are days like this for the football club?
Honestly, I think this is just an amazing step forward for Ipswich Town's women. It's a good chance it's going to be another record attendance for them here at Portman Road. It's over 10,000, isn't it? So special moments, not just for the fans, for the players as well.
The fans in the fan zone were saying 7-0, 10-0, so I've got to ask you what your prediction is for this afternoon.
Well, we beat them 5-1 earlier in the season. I think we're going to be on it. I think 7-0.
7-0?
7-0's my prediction.
Where are the goals coming from? Who's scoring?
Natasha Thomas is going to score 4, Pesk is going to score 2, and I think Negri's going to come up from a corner and head one in.
What about you, Westy? Westy, finish up with the prediction.
I just always go one better than James, I'm a little bit better, so I'll just go 8.
Brilliant stuff. Right, kickoff is fast approaching here at Portman Road, but let us remind you that Matchday Preview Live returns on Wednesday the 2nd of April as Kieran McKenna's side travel to AFC Bournemouth. We're on air from 6:45 ahead of the 7:45 kickoff, but today it's all about the women's team, so let's cross over to our commentary team after the break of Glenn Wheeler and former Blues captain Blue Wilson.
At the University of Suffolk, see it your way. Discover unique perspectives. Or create your own. Take a closer look at the University of Suffolk. See it your way. The University of Suffolk.
When we started this, did we ever think we'd have a partnership with a football club? Absolutely not. This is beyond our wildest dreams. We pretty much exclusively hire graduates at Halo. We're very proud of our Suffolk roots. Halo's a pretty passionate, positive, enthusiastic place generally, but when you've also got what's going on at the football club, and it's just blending passion and enthusiasm.
At one point or another, most small businesses require funding. Businesses need speed, they need simplicity and flexibility. Our online form allows you to send in a loan application in just a matter of minutes. We only ask for information that's absolutely necessary. We'll aim to get a decision to you within 24 hours, and if approved, you can have the funds in your account on the very same day. Fleximize has revolutionised the lending process to be fast, flexible and fuss-free. Everything you need for your business.
Transform your garden with a top-notch patio from Newstone. From cosy traditional patios to sleek modern spaces, we have something to suit every home and every budget. At Newstone, we're dedicated to providing the best experience possible, from helping you choose the perfect paving to delivery to your doorstep. Contact us online, over the phone, or in person at our showrooms. Newstone. Better patios, better prices.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Portman Road as Singing the Blues rings around the PA system here. A fantastic occasion as Ipswich Town women host Plymouth Argyle in the FA Women's National League Southern Premier Division. It's not quite as sunny as it was last year, but that'll slicken the turf and we're looking forward to what should be another fantastic occasion. With me in the commentary position this afternoon, it's a warm welcome back to the gantry. Annual appearance for former Blues captain Blue Wilson. Blue, great to have you with us. We had fun last time, didn't we? Hopefully it's just as fun this time.
Yeah, it's great to be back, thanks Glenn. I'm hoping for a similar afternoon as it was last year. This place has changed a lot since back 12 months ago, but yeah, really excited for today.
Yeah, it was your first comment actually when you joined me up here. It was, wow, look how different Portman Road is. Of course, there's been a lot of an investment around the club, the infrastructure, following the club's obviously promotion to the Premier League from the men's side, but that has filtered down, and certainly, you know, the women's team have profited from that. This is a strong squad this season, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the strongest squad I've seen in my time here. Just stacked from players who have been at the club for a while, but also new faces with different experiences coming in and providing that and helping the team to be in a pretty solid position with 5 games to go. So yeah, it is getting to the business end of the season and every game matters. So when you look at this fixture and think Town are favourites today, but ultimately Plymouth will be doing everything they can to get points to stay up themselves.
And of course promotion and, you know, winning the division is the ambition for Joe Sheehan's side this year, but again it's something we were speaking about. There is no margin for error in this league. Even 2 defeats in the season can cost you that objective. So Ipswich, they can't afford to slip up at any point, can they?
No, absolutely. The next few games and the one today is crucial. Ultimately promotion is on the line, so no slip-ups are possible, and I'm sure that'll be Joe Sheehan's message to the girls. So yeah, they'll be nervous, they'll be excited, and they'll love the occasion today, and it's great to see so many fans already feeling Portman Road.
Yeah, Portman Road. All 4 stands are open here this afternoon, and it is filling up nicely. A crowd of over 11,000 expected, which should certainly beat last year's attendance of 10,173. Those fans who watched Ipswich beat Chatham Town by 5-0 last season. Sprinklers are on as well, so the playing surface, you have to say, looks absolutely immaculate.
Prime. Ready for some good football, Glenn.
Certainly so, certainly so. And actually, you know, of course, this is the second time now. It was a year ago to the day that Ipswich played their first league fixture here at Portman Road. There's experience now in that squad. That occasion may have got to them last year. It didn't, as they showed, but certainly now there are players running through this 11 and this squad as a general that are used to this. They've experienced it and they won't be daunted by this at all.
Yeah, absolutely. They've played at crowds like last year of 10,000 plus, so they will have experience in this, but also in big games like in the FA Cup run that's just gone against Manchester City away, where they did lose 3-0, but ultimately that was a side full of internationals. So they're used to pressure, and they'll all understand how big a game this is today. Firstly, to get the 3 points, but also to inspire the 11,000 plus that are going to be in attendance.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see the flag bearers lining up just outside the tunnel here at Portman Road, with the club logo and also a nod towards the Ipswich Town Foundation as well, which does such terrific work in the community, and of course the women's team play a massive part in that as well. Just it's a great day, you know, really enjoyable last season, wasn't it? It's a very different day in some respects, but it is a great day. It's a fantastic occasion. I think everyone enjoys it.
I think they do, and you see it's much more of a family occasion, but equally there are the girls, boys here ready to get a bit of the live action of the women's team. Obviously they usually play their home games at Felixstowe, but ultimately a fixture like this sort of puts them on the map, raises awareness, but also gives the girls who have worked hard all year and coaching staff an opportunity to showcase what the work they have done has been this year.
Yeah, and it is, you know, talk about raising awareness, of course, the club have done a fantastic job, haven't they, the media team, in kind of advertising this game and getting the word out there. But this is not just local media picking this one up, national media as well have been focusing on this. I know there's been an interview with Kyra Robertson, I think, that's reached Forbes, and you know, in that, Kyra obviously talking about she's going to be leading Ipswich out this afternoon. holding the hand of her little sister as well. So that'll be a really fantastic occasion for Kyra.
Yeah, absolutely. It's moments like that, and obviously the club over the past couple of years in particular has done amazingly well at boosting the opportunities here. And obviously on the men's side, getting promoted to the Premier League has helped that. And the growth of women's football, I mean, you've seen it all over the place, is grown massively since the Euros were held here and the Euros win. So it's great to see that progress. And also with potential promotion this year, to have a women's championship team in the East region would be huge.
Yeah, and that is what's on the line, really, isn't it? Of course, you know, Ipswich have that desire to bring women's championship football to the club for their own reasons, but that would really put Ipswich on the map as, I guess, the leading light in East Anglia for women's football.
Yeah, absolutely. We've obviously got a club up the road who are chasing the tails, but it would, in the East region, Ipswich would be the leading club then, and ultimately they are now with the investment that's gone in and the care, and it's great to see.
Yeah, we're getting ready here at Portman Road, just as the Matchday squad, who aren't involved in the starting 11, are making their way towards the dugouts. Other members of the squad as well who aren't in the Matchday squad. I can see Charlotte Fleming and Maria Boswell down there as well, both of course nursing injury at the moment, so they'll be disappointed to miss out on this one, but of course they'll be wishing their teammates well indeed, and I know they were both featuring the Town TV preview show as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously Maria Boswell, women's club captain this year, she'll be gutted to miss out, as will Charlotte Fleming, who came in over the summer and has made an impact. So yeah, big losses, but ultimately they'll be hoping that occasions like this come more and more, should results continue to go Ipswich Town women's way.
Yeah, there is activity. We are counting down to kick-off here at Portman Road. There is drizzle in the air. Like I say, it was a glorious sunny day this time last year. Overcast conditions in IP1 this afternoon.
Perfect football weather, I'd say, for this. A little bit of sprinkle in the air, zippy pitch. I mean, it's absolutely perfect.
Great for defenders as well if you love a sliding challenge, that's for sure.
That's true.
Still the fans taking their seats. Majority, the lower Cobbold is full. Lower tiers of the Sir Bobby Robson and Sir Alf Ramsey stands are well populated as well. I think beneath us here, in our commentary position in the main stand, it looks packed out down below us as well. So there is a bumper crowd in for this one. And like I say, they are ready to see the Ipswich Town women put on a show here this afternoon as they hunt down the league title and any dreams of promotion that come with it. That's the objective. Joe Sheehan has been quick to say at every opportunity that they focus game by game, and I'm sure that is the case, but there is a big prize at stake. Players just gathering in the tunnel. See a few Plymouth substitutes have emerged as well. They walk along the touchline. But we're all ready now for the main event to get underway. You can see the flamethrowers are out as well on the far side, so that'll add to the occasion and the atmosphere even more so. They are primed. A year to the day since Ipswich Town women played their first ever league fixture at Portman Road, the Tractor Girls are back in town. 12 months ago, that historic occasion was marked by a terrific performance on the pitch as goals from Natasha Thomas, Sophie Pesquet, Lena Gunning-Williams and Summer Hughes steered the Blues to a comfortable 5-0 win over Chatham Town. Today, it will be Plymouth Argyle who form the opposition. The Pilgrims have made the long journey from the southwest to Suffolk, hoping to frustrate Joe Sheehan's side and the record crowd that will be cheering them on. But Ipswich have excelled at home this campaign and have their minds focused on one objective: to become league champions. With 5 fixtures remaining and 2 games in hand over the leaders #United, the Tractor Girls' fate is in their own hands. If the Blues can overturn the current 3-point deficit, the promotion dream will be realised and women's championship football will be brought to Suffolk for the very first time. This group have lofty ambitions. Joe Sheehan is determined to take it 1 game at a time, and this is the 11 that he is tasked with starting in front of a crowd of over 11,000 here at Portman Road this afternoon. Starting in goal, number 1, Natalia Negri. She'll be protected by a back 4 of Leah Mitchell, Megan Waring, Grace Garrett and Summer Hughes. Kyra Robertson captains the side. She will be paired in midfield with Ruby Doe, and Sophie Pesquet, Ella Rutherford and Lucy O'Brien will play behind Natasha Thomas. The Ipswich bench this afternoon: Laura Hartley, Lucy Watson, Ruby Seaby, Elkie Bowyer, Maisie Barker, Evie Williams and youngster Casey J. Bonwick. In all, it's 3 changes made by Joe Sheehan from the side, but 1 away at Gwalior United last weekend. Plymouth Argyle, James Bradley has made 2 changes to the side, who were heavily defeated against Watford last Sunday. It's going to be a 5-2-3 formation, I think, is what we've got here. So Lily Felgate starts in between the sticks. A back 5 of Katie Dixon, Taya Pomfret, Caitlin Smith, the skipper, Giota Papainoiu and Roxy Thomas. In midfield, Ava Kaiken and Ella Stevens. And in attack for the Pilgrims, Georgia Wilson, Charlotte Whitmore and Ellie Sara, who will lead the line. The officiating team: Fabio Roque is the man in the middle. He'll be assisted by Robert Paul, Jacob Hamilton and Richard Fullix is the 4th official. A smell of smoke, arid, lingers in the air. We're all set, Blue Wilson.
Yeah, the stadium is filled with blue smoke, so we've got a nice smell of that now. But yeah, should be a good game. Obviously, Town are our favourites for this game when you look at the league table. But I do expect Plymouth to put up a good fight. So I think it will be attack versus defence for many minutes. And it'll be dependent on whether Ipswich have the quality to break through that back 5 and make this occasion to celebrate.
Yeah, Ipswich would love a fast start. Took them a while, I think, to settle down last year and find their bearings, but they did open the scoring within 25 minutes last season here at Portman Road. Of course, there'll be a few nerves out there, but as we've mentioned, a number of those players who are starting this afternoon, you know, looking at it: Leah Mitchell, Summer Hughes, Kyra Robertson, Sophie Pesquet, Lucy O'Brien and Natasha Thomas all started that game against Chatham Town. So they know what to expect. They're ready from the off. And Natasha Thomas is standing in the centre circle with the ball at her feet. Ipswich in their blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks. Plymouth in yellow shirts, black shorts and yellow socks. And Ipswich have got us underway here at Portman Road, kicking from right to left. And it's an early touch of the ball for Natalia Negri. Here is Garrod stroking it across to Megan Waring. I think Ipswich are just going to feel their way into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there'll be any rush. I think the focus will be quality. And within this team, there is the quality of player to ultimately dominate this game. But it's just about settling the nerves, because they definitely will be there with this amount of people watching, and it's a different pitch. The changing rooms are slightly different, so it does alter your sort of match day prep. But ultimately, their first goal in the first 5 minutes will be to settle, comfortably retain the ball, and then progress up the pitch.
Here's Robertson, ball down the right-hand side to Pesquet, who's already on the run here, approaching the penalty area. Rutherford trying to turn on the edge of the box. She's under pressure, Ella Rutherford, playing it back to Ruby Doe. Summer Hughes is going to chase to keep this one in play on this near side up against Katie Dixon. Hughes turning away from Dixon now. moving towards the corner of the penalty area, and that's just behind Rutherford, but Leah Mitchell will pick it up. Can't quite find Pesquet on that right-hand side as Roxy Thomas steps in. Good start, positive start from Ipswich. They have a throw high up the pitch, right-hand side.
Absolutely, and what you'll see in this team is that Summer Hughes playing sort of left back, likes to get high, and Joe Sheehan pushes her high, ultimately to stretch Plymouth.
Good chest control from Natasha Thomas. She's dug out across here, and it's an early goal for Ipswich Town. The perfect start as Lucy O'Brien pokes home from inside the 6-yard box. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. It is a dream start for Ipswich Town at Portman Road.
So much for setting.
Great work from Natasha Thomas, who controlled the throw. She held off her marker. She worked the cross into the 6-yard box. I think Lily Felgate would have hoped to have done better in the Plymouth goal, but it fell to the feet of Lucy O'Brien, who was sharpest, who was quickest to it. And it's a simple task of tapping it into the back of the net. Perfect, perfect, perfect for Ipswich Town.
I mean, it's like a gift has fallen on Lucy O'Brien's lap in the first couple of minutes. She'll be happy with that. But yeah, I can imagine from a Plymouth perspective, goalkeeper there, Felgate, probably feels as if she could do more, but ultimately a great start for Ipswich.
Yeah, it's certainly not what Plymouth would have wanted coming out. They would have wanted to keep it tight, to look to frustrate this Ipswich Town side, given the occasion. But they have conceded in the opening 2 minutes here. And now it is going to be an upward battle, because Ipswich Town are going to have their tails up, that's for sure. Here is Ava Kaiken. Away from O'Brien and looking long here, Kaiken. That's just going to zip away from Charlotte Whitmore through to Natalia Negri. Yeah, the rain and the drizzle helping that ball skip on through to the Ipswich goalkeeper, who throws it out early for Leah Mitchell, the 19-year-old. Moving down the right-hand side, she spots Pesquet. Pesquet trying to cause problems right-hand side, as she so often does, delivering in towards Natasha Thomas. And this time, I think Felgate does enough. Manages to take it away from Natasha Thomas. I'm not sure, actually, whether there was a touch there.
I'm not sure. A tasty ball, though, nonetheless.
Now, certainly a pile of bodies in there as Natasha Thomas was attacking that. This is a Plymouth throw in there, right back area of the field. Turnover now, so now Ipswich are going to have the opportunity to throw in high up the pitch, left-hand side. I mean, certainly we saw Sophie Pesquet last season, and throughout this season she's continued to be dynamic and a real threat on the right-hand side, already causing problems this afternoon for Plymouth Argyle.
Absolutely, pace, agility, and she has added goals to a sort of cohort this season. She's a very impressive player, and ultimately I think the star of a star-studded team here, so one to watch out for on the right wing.
Here she is again on the right wing, away from Roxy Thomas. Ella Stevens on the cover. Robertson now in midfield, playing it back to Megan Waring. Here's Ruby Doe. He's returned to town following a spell at the club last year. This time on a dual registration from West Ham. She made that move from Arsenal to West Ham last summer, Ruby Doe. Plymouth have it at the back. Here is Taya Pomfret. She's got Katie Dixon ahead of her. Pomfret looks long in behind, but Grace Garrett is there to turn it away. O'Brien slides in to cut that out. Plymouth enjoying a bit of spell of possession there. They have a throw midway inside the Ipswich half. Dixon has the ball in hand. Kaiken offers one option. It's thrown to Ellie Sara, who's really battling there with Grace Garrett. Garrett's done well. Summer Hughes helping too. Ruby Doe steps in, poking it forward to Natasha Thomas. Thomas again using her strength to hold off Pomfret, playing it back to Garrett, and now Ipswich have it at the back. Garrett just assessing her options before playing it across to Megan Waring. And certainly Ipswich Town's defensive record has been one of their great strengths this season. Their defensive stats are absolutely sensational. They've conceded just 8 league goals in 17 games so far this campaign.
You'd be happy as a centre-back, wouldn't you?
Certainly would be, especially if there's a few clean sheet bonuses attached, that's for sure.
I'm sure it's in the contract somewhere. If not, will be written in.
11 league clean sheets so far as Ipswich come forward again. Rutherford linking up with Pesquet. Pesquet inside the Plymouth penalty area. Good close control as she's looking to find the delivery to Natasha Thomas. Just over the Ipswich centre forward, runs through to Lily Felgate.
It's looking very condensed in the middle, how Plymouth are set up with sort of 5 at the back. So you've got the 3 centre-backs, then you've got the 3 midfielders, and then the 2 up top. So ultimately, I think Town are going to find success out wide using Pesquet, using Hughes. I think that's where ultimately they're going to find there's more space since there's so many Plymouth bodies in the centre of that pitch.
Rutherford trying to link up with Natasha Thomas. You can see actually, can't you, that the similarities between how Kieran McKenna sets up and Joe Sheehan set up as well. I know obviously Joe Sheehan holds Kieran McKenna in such high regard, as does everyone associated with this football club, but you'll see Summer Hughes playing on that, holding that width on the left-hand side, with O'Brien more tucking in into that inside number 10, very similar to how the men set up.
Absolutely, that rotation in there is key. To open up the space just as O'Brien picks it up there. A little bit of a sloppy touch, so she does retain it, to be fair to her. But yeah, those pockets there so crucial to then open up the play either wide or into Thomas's feet.
Here is Leah Mitchell, who really did enjoy a breakthrough season last campaign. Leah Mitchell, here's Summer Hughes moving infield from the left flank. Robertson opens up her body, finds Pesquet. Rutherford there supporting as well, and Rutherford whipping a wicked ball, actually left-footed. It's over hit, but it had Felgate scrambling as well. Not quite on to Natasha Thomas's head, that, but she was allowed to cross from deep, Rutherford. It almost looked like it might sneak into the back post there.
It was closer. I think it was closer than what Felgate thought it was going to be, actually. There he is. There's the main man on the screen.
Ed Sheeran in attendance this afternoon. Fantastic ambassador for the football club, and to have him here really does speak volumes of just how linked in with the club he is. But it's a great boost, isn't it, for the women's team?
Absolutely.
Playing in front of a world superstar. He was on the socials as well, wasn't he? Really pushing the word out. Here is O'Brien, who's already got her goal this afternoon. Just squeezed out there. Ruby Doe steps in midfield. O'Brien beaten to it by Kaiken. Thomas relentless on the press. Has it back for Ipswich, left-hand side. O'Brien now spinning away from her marker. Now Hughes, just a heavy touch, which allows Katie Dixon to come away with it. Kaiken is just tripped there in midfield. Plymouth have a free kick, and with just over 10 minutes on the clock here at Portman Road, it's Ipswich Town 1, Plymouth Argyle 0, and I think Joe Sheehan will be very happy with his side start, Blue Wilson.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's clear that they've set up to press, and when you see touches like that, they're instantly, there's crowds of blue shirts trying to win the ball back high up the pitch. I think one thing that Joe Sheehan will be thinking is, okay, they're crowding out the midfield, they're crowding out the centre of the pitch, so can we be better at transferring the ball from one side of the pitch to the other to catch Plymouth defenders out? So yeah, I think it's a good start, and it's something to build on. Obviously helps when you go 1-0 up in the first couple of minutes. So yeah, I think overall he'll be happy, and it doesn't seem that the girls are too nervous out there at all.
Yep, certainly the pressure has been taken off by that early goal, as O'Brien is wrestled to the ground there by Georgia Wilson. Free kick is going to be left for Grace Garrod to take, who joined in the summer, became Town's second summer signing. Grace Garrod Spent last season at Lewis. And now here is Rutherford, who seems to be popping up in all kinds of spaces. Ella Rutherford. Here's Ruby Doe. Garrod on this near side as Joe Sheehan watches on. Megan Waring. Garrod once more. O'Brien is in a pocket here, and now she's looking to link up with Summer Hughes, who's driven forward from left back. Strong challenge comes in. Hughes does well to retain possession for Ipswich Town. Doe. Now Megan Waring just inside the Plymouth half here. Mitchell. Rutherford, nice work again from Ella Rutherford. Just can't quite link up and find that pass into Natasha Thomas. And Garrod has it once more. So Ipswich enjoying plenty of possession here in the opening stages. Just seems like they're just trying to work out Plymouth Argyle at the moment.
Patience is key in games like this. Absolutely key, that they're not forcing things forward. It's where players like O'Brien and Rutherford in the 210s are crucial in picking up those little pockets, which you don't notice them, and then suddenly they're on the ball, creating something.
Just as Rutherford was there as she links up with Summer Hughes, and Hughes is away from Dixon into the box now. Kaiken trying to challenge inside the penalty area. Hughes still has it now, retains possession very well, tries to find the cutback for Pesquet. It's cut out, cleared away. But yeah, just as you were teeing Ella Rutherford up there with popping up in all kinds of spaces, this time she was on the left-hand side, linking up with Summer Hughes. Doe into O'Brien. O'Brien with a chance to run here with the step over into the box now, delivering across the 6-yard box, and a loose ball is cleared away by Lily Felgate in the end. Ruby Doe, Robertson, Town's captain this afternoon. Now Leah Mitchell. Pesquet with space to operate in high up on the right. Pesquet delivering in towards Natasha Thomas. Natasha Thomas was under pressure, slightly off balance, couldn't quite get the header right there, and it's out for a goal kick. Ipswich 1, Plymouth Argyle 0.
Yeah, build up, cross, Tasha's run, everything about that was great. It was just the time of the header which has got her out there, and it's gone in the opposite direction. But I think 9 times out of 10 Tash scores that this season. So I'm sure she'll get many more opportunities like that, given the movement and the quality of cross.
Yeah, Natasha Thomas just caught out Taya Pomfrey there, came from the blind side to meet that cross. It's a bit loose in midfield from Georgia Wilson, so it's an Ipswich throw on this near side. Summer Hughes with the ball in hand, throwing back to Grace Garrod. Now Megan Waring. Mitchell, slightly heavy touch. Plymouth couldn't quite capitalise on that. Here's Kaiken, crowded out by 2 blue shirts as Doe and Rutherford work well together. Garrod on halfway into Kyra Robertson. Hughes. Garrod once more. Just inside the Plymouth Argyle half. Plymouth just happy to allow the Ipswich centre-backs to have the ball. Here's Mitchell. Pesquet on the move again. It's a little roulette there from Sophie Pesquet. And then Rutherford is too sharp. She's in ahead of Roxy Thomas here. Rutherford just plays that behind Lucy O'Brien. O'Brien quick onto that loose ball though. Natasha Thomas now 25 yards from goal. Summer Hughes spinning away from Pomfret. Hughes delivering into the 6-yard box, but Caitlin Smith is there. Hughes keeps it in play. Now O'Brien, low shot at goal, and Felgate is down well at her near post to gather cleanly. But they are looking dangerous in and around the 18-yard box, Ipswich Town. It's been a very positive opening quarter of an hour.
Plymouth look to be going long already. Oh, she's putting it down. Previously in the season, they did try and play out from the back, and Town did capitalise that on one of the goals in particular. So it looks as if they've changed that around, given the pressure already in the first sort of opening few minutes.
Thomas trying to flick that on to Lucy O'Brien. Kaiken is there, playing it back to captain Papagiannou. Here is Georgia Wilson. Sarah is barged over by Garrod. Garrod protests, but Fabio Roque, the referee, adamant that that was a foul, and Plymouth Argyle have a free kick here. Right of centre. Ipswich just getting into their defensive shape, holding their line on the edge of the 18-yard box. Kaiken standing over it. Is this a chance for Plymouth Argyle to cause some problems? And it comes from Kaiken, headed away by Garrod. And then it's an ambitious effort from Roxy Thomas. I think saw her name in lights, given the stadium and the occasion. Gets her shot all wrong. And it ends up in the lower tier of the Sir Alf Ramsey stand away to our right-hand side. Ipswich 1, Plymouth 0. And Natalia Negri puts the ball down on the edge of her 6-yard box and plays it to her right-hand side. Here's Megan Waring. Garrod. Ipswich centre-back seeing a lot of the ball, comfortable on it.
Plymouth have clearly gone with what started with a mid-block tactic where they're not pressing the centre-backs, they're allowing the town centre-backs to have it so that they've got more bodies for positions like this. But ultimately at times in this first sort of 18 minutes it's gone to a low block, so they just need to be careful that actually they're not sitting too deep, that ultimately town can have all of the ball, because it's no fun being out of possession. It tires you, and there will be some heavy legs I can imagine with sort of 60 minutes on the clock, so be interesting to see how they deal with town dominating and continuing to dominate and just ensuring that they're keeping that line up, because it just invites more and more pressure.
Fabio Roque slightly pedantic about where that free kick needs to be taken from, so Garrod does take it short now. Yeah, I mean, you say that Plymouth low block of sorts is not particularly watertight at the moment. Ipswich are having joy in and around the 18-yard box, and here's Garrod looking to play that ball in between right back and right centre half. Hughes can't reach it, but it is an Ipswich Town throw on this near side, and again Ipswich have good territory here. Hughes, who scored the 5th goal against Chatham Town a year ago here at Portman Road, throws it into O'Brien. Rutherford just rolls the ball underneath her left foot and plays it back to Grace Garrod. Switch of play to Mitchell. Now time on the ball once more, and now it's with Waring. Garrod. O'Brien holds off Pomfret. Hughes. Garrod, Doe, just tried to work that first time into Summer Hughes. Here's Ellie Sara. Good footwork actually from Hughes there on this near side to play it back to Garrod. But you can see now, Blue, that Ipswich really are probing down both flanks, and here they are this time. They're going to look to work down the right-hand side as Mitchell's ball is cut out by Roxy Thomas. But you can see, I know you mentioned earlier that it was very congested in midfield. Well, Joe Sheehan's seemingly spotted that, and now it just seems to be, let's get it out wide and let's cause problems out on the flanks.
Absolutely, and I think those passes into Doe and Robertson are needed to almost trigger a Plymouth body to come out of place, to open up the space for Rutherford, O'Brien, Thomas to get on the ball in a forward position. But ultimately they are more risky, so you see the ball's lost there by Doe. But had that have worked and a Plymouth body comes out of position, that's when the space then opens up. That's when suddenly the 5 at the back and the 3 in front of them, there are still gaps there. We just have to move them.
Yeah, that ball was on as well from Garrod, and she did find Summer Hughes. To be fair, Caitlin Smith got across well actually, and he just couldn't profit from that ball in behind, but certainly there are gaps and openings. Here's Robertson. Mentioned earlier what an amazing moment that would have been for her, leading out Ipswich Town earlier, accompanied by her younger sister.
I know her younger sister has a Robertson shirt that she often dons at Felixstowe, so amazing for the both of them, and also Kyra's mum and family.
Pesquet delivering in from the right, and Natasha Thomas is up again, but she can't get enough contact on the header this time. Glances it wide. Again, it's terrific work from Sophie Pesquet, right-hand side. A pinpoint delivery, but Natasha Thomas couldn't quite steer it into that far corner. Out for a goal kick, Ipswich 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. Great ball in on the run.
Just a few inches higher. The jump is good from Tash. She got up well. It's just a little bit lower, and that ball makes good contact.
Yep, Natasha Thomas, who's been at the club since 2015, 10 years now in Ipswich Blue. Longest serving player, became the record appearance holder back in October. And she's the Blues' all-time leading goal scorer as well. She had a field day against Chatham last year, got that brace. She'd love to get on the score sheet again this afternoon, that's for sure. Rutherford, Doe, Pesquet brings it under control in the centre circle, opens up for Leah Mitchell perhaps. Mitchell first time early into Rutherford. Doe. Ipswich moving it well here, from right to left. Summer Hughes keeps it in. Full of boundless energy, Summer Hughes down this left-hand side. Doe, Rutherford, almost picked out that pass. It was a terrific idea from Rutherford, a great spot, but Lucy O'Brien couldn't quite reach it. It's out of play for a goal kick.
You could see, though, they were on the same wavelength there. All it needed was just a sharper movement from Lucy O'Brien. But Ella Rutherford so far this afternoon, close control, shielding the ball has been absolute quality, and hope it continues.
Yeah, plenty of experience at the level that Ipswich Town are hoping to reach, of course, Ella Rutherford. Spent the previous 4 years at Charlton in the Women's Championship. She really is trying to spearhead this promotion charge, and of course Ipswich have Women's Championship ambitions of their own. They're closing in on, it's very much in their own hands, but hashtag United, they're just not going away at the moment. Natasha Thomas. Garrod playing it back to Natalia Negri. Here's Hughes. Garrod, midway inside their own half. Plays it across to Megan Waring. Here's Mitchell now. The Ipswich right back. Garrod. Again, Ipswich just getting primed here to create a move that will cause Plymouth problems. Pilgrims with all 11 players behind the ball. Here's Robertson, right-hand side. Both Mitchell and Pesquet ahead of her. Infield to Ella Rutherford. Nice link-up players. O'Brien finds Natasha Thomas, and Thomas spotted Pesquet running in behind that back four. Here is Pesquet now inside the penalty area, trying to get away from Roxy Thomas. This time it's in towards Natasha Thomas, and Natasha Thomas does get her goal. On target again at Portman Road. Ipswich Town's all-time leading goal scorer. She loves playing here. She loves scoring here.
It was only a matter of time, and I'm surprised it's taken this long. Again, Pesquet with the cross. Tash jumps, looks as if she beat Plymouth's goalkeeper to it and finishes the ball in the back of the net. So yeah, great. The build-up from Ipswich, calm, composed, and ultimately a little chip ball in that allowed Thomas to head it into the back of the net.
Well, it's been a combination that has caused plenty of problems already this afternoon. Pesquet and Thomas have linked up on a couple of occasions, but this time Thomas on target. She enjoyed that one. And Ipswich now, well, they were looking comfortable already. Now they have a 2-goal advantage. And they really are enjoying the occasion. And you've got to say, Blue, every time they maraud forward into that final third, they are looking threatening.
Yeah, absolutely. And also in a calm, composed way. It doesn't feel forced. And I think they've got that right so far in the first sort of 25 minutes, in the fact that they're not boosting it forward, they're not getting frustrated by Plymouth. And what they need to be careful is opportunities like this where silly fouls are given away, and ultimately it gives Plymouth a chance to get back into it, where it's been such a one-sided game so far. So they'll have to be wary of that. The defence will need to keep their ears and eyes out for counter-attacks and also be switched on in moments like this.
Yeah, Plymouth Argyle have a free kick here. Just right of centre. It's going to be delivered in by Katie Dixon. It was a bit too straight. It was easily dealt with by Ipswich Town. Dixon tries to help it back into the box. Garrod is strong and heads away. Doe gets the flick on. Lucy O'Brien is going to chase this, but Ella Stevens is across. Whitmore. Doe with the challenge on this near side. Final touch has come off Katie Dixon, so Ipswich have the throw. Joe Sheehan just in conversation with Ruby Doe there. Ipswich, I think, delighted to have the talented youngster back in Suffolk. Of course, spent the whole of last season on that dual registration at the club from Arsenal. Rejoined in February.
I know she's a really well valued member of the squad, so I can imagine the girls are really pleased to have her back. She works hard and is incredibly aggressive off the ball, and can obviously play sort of in the 10 or sort of 8 or 6 positions. She's playing with Robertson today, but yeah, lovely girl, and ultimately fits into the team really well.
England Youth International from under 14 to under 19 level as well, Ruby Doe. Here is Robertson driving through midfield, ball out to Summer Hughes on the left-hand side. Hughes just with the shimmy to try and escape the attention of Katie Dixon. Here is Garrod. Waring. Now Mitchell. Rutherford now. Time on the ball on that right-hand side. Here's Kyra Robertson. Doe. Ipswich again moving the ball well, and it's Mitchell popping up this time in space. Just retrieves that ball from behind, but can't quite give it back to Sophie Pesquet. It's going to be another Ipswich throw, though, attacking position. Just create partnerships all over the pitch, aren't they, Ipswich? Certainly that link up between Mitchell and Pesquet and Thomas. As Caitlin Smith takes no chances there, heading it out and behind for a corner kick.
You're absolutely right, though, Glenn. Joe Sheehan clearly is wanting 2v1s in the wide spaces, so whether that's Pesquet and Leah Mitchell or Summer Hughes and Lucy O'Brien on this left-hand side, that is the key to isolate that right back or left back with two Town players to ultimately eliminate them so they can get a cross in for the following bodies in the box to finish. So it's clear that's the strategy here.
Rutherford preparing to deliver from the far side, and it comes as a deep one, and it's just too deep over Megan Waring, out for a Plymouth throw on this near side. Sloppy from the Pilgrims. Kyken and Pomfret can't link up, so now Ipswich again have the territory. Summer Hughes trots across, ready to take this throw. Thomas and Rutherford on the move. Thomas first time into Lucy O'Brien, who got scoring underway early. Rutherford is offside. Plymouth have the free kick. 31 minutes on the clock. Ipswich 2, Plymouth Argyle 0. In the other big game in the FA Women's National League Southern Premier Division, it is goalless between Gwalior United and Hashtag United. In fact, latest update, Gwalior have literally taken the lead in Wales. So that is a significant goal. That could be a significant goal. Gwalior United lead Hashtag United in the other big game at the top of the table.
Tough side, Gwalior, especially having to travel all that distance. I know the town team did it a few times for the match to finally go ahead last week and win over in Wales, but they are a tough side, so be interesting to monitor how that sort of result progresses over the afternoon.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on that one here at Portman Road, as there's a yellow card here for the Plymouth Argyle skipper, Giota Papayannou. Heavy challenge on Sophie Pesquet. So it's an opportunity here for Ipswich Town to deliver a ball into the box. Garrett has headed across to that far side. Mitchell and Waring up from the back. Fabio Roque, referee, now happy with everything, so Garrett is given the all clear to deliver in. In it comes, left-footed ball, and it's towards Leah Mitchell. It was a great header, good connection, but just off target.
I think she'll be disappointed with that, Glenn. She's got no yellow bodies around there, I don't think. But it's a great ball in from Garrett, and Leah Mitchell almost did enough there. Just needs that touch more of contact. She's actually got a town body around her, off-putting her, I think.
Yeah, I think the jump came in from Pesquet just in front of Leah Mitchell, the 19-year-old. Like I say, Blue, she did everything right other than the finishing touch. And it was a fabulous ball in from Grace Garrett from the right. Here is Dixon. Spotted Georgia Wilson, but can't find her with the pass. Robertson just caught out there, caught in possession.
She just needs a shout there from a teammate, I think.
Here is Mitchell, who just missed that header a few moments ago, but she's again really nailing down a spot in this side. Player of the month for February as well, young defender. As that was really last season, wasn't it, where she broke into this team.
And ever since, to be fair to her, she's been reliable. And I think we all know, anyone who's followed Ipswich Town women knows that Joe Sheehan likes putting pressure in the hands of young players, likes to see what they can do, and ultimately Leah Mitchell has delivered week in, week out, and rewarded on stages like this. So great player, comfortable on the ball and defensively solid too.
Incredibly versatile as well. Transition from centre midfield to centre back, and now is operating in the fullback area. Like I say, that link up with Sophie Pesquet that she's starting to develop really is proving dividends for Ipswich Town. It has done already this afternoon, with Mitchell and Pesquet combining to assist Natasha Thomas for Ipswich Town's second goal of the afternoon. Here is Waring. Now Garrett, put under pressure from Ava Kaiken. Nice work again from Summer Hughes. She's been heavily involved this afternoon, Hughes. Robertson can't quite find Hughes there. Kaiken is moving from it.
I think Doe just needs to take that on the back foot and turn out there to the right-hand side. Tried to go in central and just the gaps weren't there, but Town have got it back again.
Hughes, O'Brien with space to run into here. Central position, 35 yards from goal. Now Pesquet fancies it, she goes for goal herself. But the shot is charged down by Papianu, out for a corner kick.
To be fair to Plymouth, they've made this difficult. Town look as if they're in the form to score a few goals here today. And Plymouth so far have made that challenging. I mean, it's ultimately turned into a bit of a chess game, a very defensive chess game. But it's up to Town now to come up with the solutions.
Rutherford this time takes the corner short. It's Ruby Doe coming in, and that was well worked from Ipswich, but can't quite find a blue head. Hughes takes it away from Whitmore, but is then dispossessed. And then Stevens and Whitmore can't combine, so Ipswich win it back. He's out for a Plymouth throw. I mean, yeah, like you say, Blue, Plymouth have... That's an Ipswich throw, rather. Plymouth have stuck to the task and frustrated Ipswich for now, but as you mentioned earlier, as the game goes on, it's going to get harder and harder to maintain the energy levels because Plymouth are seeing very little of the ball there. They're having to shift, they're having to move, they're having to get across from right to left and vice versa. And Ipswich continue, as they have done here, to find space. Here's Lucy O'Brien trying to drive into the box. Doe gets there ahead of Ellie Sara.
Not only physically tiring, but mentally tiring in the fact that you've got to stay concentrated. All it takes is one misstep of position and suddenly there's a space and Lucy O'Brien's in it.
Yeah, and here's space for Hughes to try and deliver. It's a good sliding intervention, to be fair, from Ella Stevens. It is going to be another Ipswich Town corner kick. 38 minutes played at Portman Road. Ipswich Town 2, Plymouth Argyle 0.
Like to see Megan Waring on the score sheet here. Loves a header from a corner or a cross and will deliver with the celebration too.
She got a brace at the start of the month in the away trip to AFC Wimbledon, Megan Waring. And here she is coming into it. And Blue Wilson has almost teed her up there.
Called it.
But it is tipped over in the end, is it? It just drops onto the roof of the net, but it was Megan Waring coming in at the back post. Just wouldn't drop underneath the crossbar. She hit the top of the bar by the looks of it, just seeing the replay on our monitors.
Might actually come off Tash Thomas.
Yeah, there's a group of bodies at the back post. Lily Felgate, the Plymouth goalkeeper, had it covered, but just bounced on top of the bar. And now here's Rutherford and Pesquet causing problems again. Pesquet does ever so well to keep it in play. Near the byline, Mitchell, Rutherford. Tried to deliver in left-footed. Was blocked away by Roxy Thomas. I think that's Plymouth just trying to get a breather there, as Ella Stevens had no intention of trying to work that in midfield. It's out of play for an Ipswich strike on the far side. Mitchell has the ball in hand, midway inside the Plymouth half. Thomas holds it up, back to Mitchell. Pesquet scrapping to try and keep the ball for Ipswich Town. Now, is there a chance for Plymouth to conjure up something? No, there's not, because Ruby Doe is back on the cover, sliding in to challenge Ellie Sara. Plymouth throw. Spotted the danger well there, Ruby Doe.
Absolutely, switched on and slid in.
Doe is caught by Whitmore, 5 yards inside the Ipswich half. As we approach the interval, and it has been so far a comfortable afternoon for Ipswich Town. Joe Sheehan will be pleased with the position that his side are in. just seem to be, like I say, patiently and routinely going about their business, Ipswich.
Yeah, I would imagine this week in training has been constant practice of this attack v defence. If I know Joe Sheehan well enough, they would have set up in Plymouth's formation of 5-3-2 and ultimately played against each other and said, right, how are we going to break this lot down on Sunday? So yeah, the makeup of team helps with that. Composed at the back, you've then got the two feisty Robertson and Doe and all the creative players up top. So it's then just about how that flows in between and also the movements, so whether it's double movements to shake off those yellow shirts.
It does seem to be very well balanced, this Ipswich Town 11. Solid at the back, bite in midfield, and then creativity and pace up top. Hopeful ball forward from Pomfret. Garrett is there. Robertson is most alert to it in midfield to get on a loose ball. There is Mitchell sliding in. Great feet from Pesquet, who gets it back from Rutherford, and then just a bit of miscontrol from Sophie Pesquet. She's fighting back to try and win it back. Will Pesquet get there ahead of Stevens? Well, she's too strong for Stevens. And now Rutherford used her body just to shield the ball away from Katie Dixon. Pesquet in unfamiliar territory on the left-hand side. The back heel into O'Brien. O'Brien into the box. O'Brien working it across into Natasha Thomas, who attacks it at the front post, but Felgate gets there first, falls on the ball, and it remains Ipswich 2, Plymouth Argyle 0.
I just wonder there if she gets her head up and looks up and sees Rutherford with a late run at the top of the box, where she could sort of slide it back with her left foot to the top of the box for a finish for Rutherford. Tough. But great play by Ipswich again threatening. Lucy O'Brien at the helm, Sophie Pesquet down that left side again, which has been very profitable so far for Ipswich.
Pesquet playing it to Ella Rutherford. She's got Mitchell on the overlap here. Here is Leah Mitchell running towards the byline, delivering in. Caitlin Smith is there to divert that cross away with Natasha Thomas waiting. Ball forward, aimed in behind, but Garrett is there to mop up. Here is Waring. Ruby Doe inside the centre circle. Rutherford first time into Natasha Thomas. Doe, can she find that ball to Summer Hughes? Hughes is trying to reach it, and the final touch there has come off. Taya Pomfret, it is going to be a corner kick. Again, the interlinking play in midfield.
Great phase of play. No doubt that will be clipped up and played post-game analysis. Because yeah, the way Town have just played through the midfield, one touch, two touch, linking up. And it's just a shame that ball didn't have less on it for Summer Hughes to whiff a ball in left-footed.
Pesquet, O'Brien, there's the header at the front post from Garrod coming in. And she always had to flick that.
Tough one, that. Really tough.
Met that in front of the front post, Grace Garrod, and she was just trying to almost flick it with the back of her head towards the far post. Too much contact on it, really, but that was a difficult chance. And 1 minute is going to be added on here at the end of this first half, which I must say has flown by. Ipswich in a very good position indeed, 2-0 to the good. And in Wales, of course, in the other big game, in the Southern Premier Division, Gwalia United continue to lead. The current league leaders, #United, or certainly league leaders coming into today. But as things stand, Ipswich Town are heading to the top of the table. Here's Robertson. Just moving into the Plymouth half now. Summer Hughes keeps the ball in play. O'Brien. Whitmore clears away, but there's no real outlet for Plymouth Argyle. As we've played the minute added on, Fabio Roque, the referee, blows his whistle. What a first half that has been for Ipswich Town. They've looked composed, they haven't been daunted by the occasion at all. They've been patient, but they have put together some great passages of play. They've looked a threat every time they've entered the final third. And they got off to the dream start, really. Less than 2 minutes on the clock when Lucy O'Brien scored the opener. Made it very difficult for Plymouth Argyle. Ipswich continued to create, and then Pesquet, after a few crosses into the box, did finally have one nodded in by Natasha Thomas. In terms of the highlights, here we are. And this was that perfect start. Great strength from Natasha Thomas. Lily Felgate, Plymouth goalkeeper, will have perhaps feeling that she should have done better, but Lucy O'Brien was too sharp and was on hand to tap home. Great start for Ipswich.
Doesn't get much better. I mean, Tasha's done well. She's got 2 players on her there. Squeezed the ball out. Felgate spilled it. Lucy O'Brien, right time, right place.
I mean, Lucy O'Brien will have gone to bed last night dreaming of scoring at Portman Road, and maybe she'll have still felt that she was dreaming there when that was presented to her.
I think probably that is the case.
And Ipswich did continue to threaten Pesquet, a constant nuisance down the right-hand side, and that ball in. That time was dealt with just about by Plymouth Argyle.
Just about. I mean, it's a great ball out by Mitchell to Pesquet in the first place. Pesquet, great ball in, tasty as I called it earlier, and it's just waiting for Tasha's right boot to be on it, but Plymouth just do enough to off-put her.
Yeah, and that's a combination that has linked up ever so well, Leah Mitchell and Sophie Pesquet in that first half, and Natasha Thomas couldn't quite get on the end of that one. But again, as so often is the case, she's in the right place, Natasha Thomas, just as she was here, but not enough contact on that header. It was a bit of a sighter for her, though, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think she was just getting her radar on. The ball actually could have done with a bit more pace to help her out. It floats in. Oh, see your head moving, like you got a header it going, but that's all it needed. It was close, and she got the radar in later to finish the dinner.
Yeah, I mean, it was the timing of the run. She absolutely snuck in, didn't she? Natasha Thomas there. And Ipswich just were relentless at times. There was patient build-up play. But there we go, Natasha Thomas getting her goal. That combination of Mitchell and Pesquet again. Just outnumbering there, it's 2-on-1 as you can see. Pesquet with the time and the space to work across. And Natasha Thomas wanted it most. And it's now 3-2 for her at Portman Road.
I'd be happy with those stats. I don't know about you, Glenn. And perhaps more to come.
Yeah. Natasha Thomas, she knows where the goal is here at this famous old stadium. She got one in the first half last season and then went on to get one in the second half. She'll be wanting more when she comes out for the second period, that's for sure. Ipswich even hit the woodwork. Corner in from the near side. Megan Waring, I think Natasha Thomas was there as well at the back post. I think Felgate had it covered, but it's just balls into the box Ipswich do look dangerous from. O'Brien with the delivery, and I mentioned earlier, Megan Waring, who got a couple of goals at the start of the month. With that effort, hit the top of the crossbar. So Ipswich couldn't add to the scoring, but they are 2-0 up. The goals from Lucy O'Brien and Natasha Thomas. We're going to have a short break here at Portman Road, but we will be back ahead of the second half. We'll see you shortly.
At the University of Suffolk, see it your way. Discover unique perspectives. Or create your own. Take a closer look at the University of Suffolk. See it your way. The University of Suffolk.
When we started this, did we ever think we'd have a partnership with a football club? Absolutely not. This is beyond our wildest dreams. We pretty much exclusively hire graduates at Halo. We're very proud of our Suffolk roots. Halo's a pretty passionate, positive, enthusiastic place generally, but when you've also got what's going on at the football club, and it's just lending passion and enthusiasm.
At one point or another, most small businesses require funding. Businesses need speed, they need simplicity and flexibility. Our online form allows you to send in a loan application in just a matter of minutes. We only ask for information that's absolutely necessary. We'll aim to get a decision to you within 24 hours, and if approved, you can have the funds in your account on the very same day. Fleximize has revolutionised the lending process to be fast, flexible and fuss-free. Everything you need for your business.
Transform your garden with a top-notch patio from Newstone. From cosy traditional patios to sleek modern spaces, we have something to suit every home and every budget. At Newstone, we're dedicated to providing the best experience possible, from helping you choose the perfect paving to delivery to your doorstep. Contact us online, over the phone, or in person at our showrooms. Newstone. Better patios, better prices.
please welcome back out to the field of play for the second half, your Ipswich Town!
Welcome back, everyone, to Portman Road as the sun is starting to come out here to greet the occasion. It's grey and overcast for that first half, but the sun is starting to beat down on the playing surface here at Portman Road. It's a playing surface that Ipswich Town women have lit up during that first half. They were dominant, they were patient, they were neat and tidy. They really did cause problems in attack for Plymouth Argyle. Plymouth, to their credit, stood pretty firm, but the second half, I think Blue Wilson is where they're really going to be tested in terms of physical levels and mental concentration.
Absolutely. The first half performance from Town was mature, it was consistent, filled with quality. I think they'll be looking to continue on similar lines going forward with that extra sharpness in the final third. Plymouth, I can imagine that half-time team talk is very much about damage limitation. Given how that first half went, they'll have to stay focused, they'll have to give it everything, and obviously it'll be a long drive home. It might be that on the counter-attack they really focus on making those one-off chances count, whether it be free kicks and getting Sarah on the ball, but ultimately it'll be about sticking together as a unit and making sure that defence can be as watertight as can be.
Yeah, Eddie Sarah is standing over the ball in the centre circle. Fabio Roque just completing his final checks as we're all set to get back underway here at Portman Road. The ball is rolling and Plymouth attacking me. So Bobby Robson's down in this second half. Kyra Robertson just playing it across to Summer Hughes. Run through the two teams in full when I get the chance to do so. No changes have been made by either side at the break though. So it's as you were down there on the Portman Road playing surface. Leah Mitchell just trying to work that down the line. It was a bit narrow down there. It's out of play for a Plymouth throw. Here is Whitmore, crowded out, but she's managed to win a throw in for Plymouth. Helen Rutherford just having a few words to the assistant referee on this near side. Here's Papianu, the Plymouth captain, taking the throw on a yellow card, remember, from that first half, that challenge on Sophie Pesquet. And now Ipswich have a throw of their own in their right back area of the field. So let's run through the Ipswich lineup quickly as that's played back to Natalia Negri, who's in goal for the home side this afternoon. A back four in front of Leah Mitchell, Megan Waring, Grace Garrett and Summer Hughes. The midfield pairing of Ruby Doe and Kyra Robertson, who captains the side. And then Sophie Pesquet, Ella Rutherford and Lucy O'Brien playing behind Natasha Thomas. And that's given away by Rutherford to Charlotte Whitmore. Whitmore coming forward, Waring reading it well, just stepping across Whitmore, and then Grace Garrett picks it up. So a bit loose that from Rutherford, but Plymouth can't profit. They're just not getting the bodies forward, are they, to support any attack?
No, they're not, and it's so tough to go from this defensive mindset that they're currently set up in to then having the ball. It's almost like shock when they do have the ball, which ultimately means that fair play to Town, they have snuffed out anything which has been threatening, but ultimately they're shocked when they have the ball and panic with passes like that, which ultimately just returns possession to Town, and the same cycle sort of repeats.
Yep, here is Garrett. Like I said, spent last season at Lewis, but she's had a career that's also seen her spend time at West Ham. Even took her to Norway when she played for Stybak Football Kvinna in 2023. Came through Arsenal's youth system originally, Grace Garrett. It's going to be a Plymouth throw in their left-back area of the field here. Papianu just looking down the line here. Plymouth are just trying to get the ball as far away from their goal as possible. Sarah nods it in field. Wilson is dispossessed by Kyra Robertson. Just so effective at the job that she does in there, Kyra Robertson.
Tidying up the untidy stuff, I call it, doing the work that no one really appreciates, but ultimately she is the engine of this team and has done so for many seasons now. Very good player.
I remember when Pesquet moves forward down the right-hand side, she's under pressure from Wilson. Pesquet does go down and does win the free kick right by the corner flag away to our right-hand side, just on Kyra Robertson. I remember doing a game with her on commentary last season, I think, in the Championship, and the fact that Mark Ashton, I think, there's a little nickname for her in terms of Sammy Morsey. I think very, very similar style of players.
Yeah, I would make comparisons for sure. It's that sort of aggressiveness out of possession, but then also keeping it simple in possession. Nothing too wild. It's keeping the play ticking, keeping the team moving, and ultimately she's captaining the side today.
Yeah, just like Sam Morsey, who's done it many, many times. Kyra Robertson leading Ipswich out this afternoon. Rutherford to take this free kick from the near side. It's a deep one. Waring is there again. And again, she's getting that first contact ahead of Charlotte Whitmore, but there was just too much pressure on her as she was stooping low, and it's out for a Plymouth Argyle goal kick.
Yeah, it's clearly something Town have been working on, I think, because the amount of crosses which have come in and looking for that deep runner, which has often been Megan Waring. It looks as if that's the play, that they're looking for that deep runner with a deep ball into the box to then either flash back in front of the goal or to go for goal itself.
Megan Waring, who made her senior debut in 2022, was the Women's Player of the Season during that 2022-23 campaign. Natasha Thomas thought she might have been away there, but she was challenged well, even though that ball has just bounced over Roxy Thomas, and it's going to be an Ipswich throw on halfway. Waring receiving it now as Ed Sheeran takes his seat again here at Portman Road, watching on. Garrett, here's Summer Hughes. Whitmore is down on halfway, sat down for Plymouth as Hughes can't quite get away from the Plymouth defence, but he is out for a corner kick, and now Whitmore is going to receive some medical attention here. Looks like that right arm is, right elbow by the looks of it, is causing the problem here for Charlotte Whitmore. He sat down right on halfway in front of the fourth official here. Kyra Robertson's just taken some instruction from Joe Sheehan, and now she's going to pass that information on to Leah Mitchell and to a group of them. A number of Town players have come across to their skipper. Whitmore back to her feet off the pitch, so Ipswich will be able to take this corner. It's Ruby Doe playing it short. Work to Pesquet. Pesquet, wicked delivery in that was. And Natasha Thomas will probably feel that she should have done better as she heads over from 6 yards out. That was well worked from Ipswich on the far side. A terrific ball in from Pesquet. Thomas there to meet it again, but she just couldn't quite keep the header down.
No, it had pace on that ball from Pesquet, but firstly, as you said, Glenn, well worked from the corner. They've opted to go short this time to get it to Pesquet's feet to whip in, and Tash just couldn't keep it down. Sort of central to the goal. All it really needed was a flick on and a redirection, because it had enough pace on the ball, but not to be.
Yeah, that ball was really moving, which was what made the chance difficult for Natasha Thomas. But a goal score of her calibre, given the fact she's already popped in with a header this afternoon as well.
You expect those to go in for sure.
I'm sure she'll get a few more chances this afternoon, though, Natasha Thomas, to add to her tally. She certainly likes playing here. 10 years at the club now, having that chance to play at Portman Road last season as well.
And obviously, Glenn, her name is now on the international honours board here at Portman Road after she made her debut for the Jamaican national team against France, I believe. So yeah, that was a big achievement for her, and great to see that the club recognised that as well.
Yeah, celebrated by the whole club. That debut, like you say, Blue, that Jamaica debut in October 2024 against France, in France. It was a 3-0 defeat for the Reggae Girls, but in doing so, Natasha Thomas became the first Ipswich Town women's player to make a full international debut. Quite an achievement, as O'Brien now is moving with pace down the left-hand side, and she got the ball in, but it's gathered up by Lily Felgate at the front post. I mean, she is, for her longevity, still only 29 years of age, Natasha Thomas, but given the amount of time she's been at Ipswich Town, she's very much the figurehead, isn't she, of this group?
Absolutely. She's seen the progression. She's seen what's changed, particularly over the past 3, 4, 5 years. And ultimately, she stayed in the team and continued to score goals, and hence why she is the record time goal scorer and appearance maker. She is the figurehead for sure.
Pesquet delivering in towards Natasha Thomas, who's there attacking it again. Couldn't quite make contact with that, Natasha Thomas. I say she adorns the back of the Sir Bobby Robson stand now as well. She's got that image of her celebrating one of her goals against Chatham Town on the back of that famous old stand here at Portman Road. And I say, she got a brace here last year. I think she wants at least another brace here this afternoon, and you wouldn't bet against her right now. She's getting in scoring positions, isn't she? In Wales, it remains Gwalia United 1, #United 0. And we're going to see the first change of the afternoon, which is going to see Ellie Sara replaced by Lulu Jarvis. It's been a thankless task, really, hasn't it, for Ellie Sara? She's not seen much of the ball, and she's not had much support up there, leading the line for Plymouth this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been a tough game for her. I know she's got a great scoring record, especially last season. But it looks as if Jarvis has come on. He's more of a defensive player. So perhaps a defensive move, whether she'll sit in front of that midfield three or not, or form part of it, not sure, but we'll sort of see it play out over the next sort of few minutes.
Yep, so Whitmore has moved from the left flank and will now lead the line for Plymouth Argyle. Lulu Jarvis is going to form part of that midfield as the challenge comes in from O'Brien, and the loose ball drops for Kyra Robertson, and then Rutherford will strike one. It's safer now, but Pesquet is there on the follow-up to make it 3. Sophie Pesquet in front of the Sir Ralph Ramsey stand was just too alert there. She rushed into the 6-yard box, she gets her goal, and Ipswich continue to add to their tally here at Portman Road this afternoon.
Yep, another one. It's come from Ella Rutherford taking that shot. Firstly, the great challenge. It's a great challenge by Lucy O'Brien. Rutherford picks it up, one to the left foot. The ball was moving and the keeper can't quite handle it. And you almost see, as Pesquet sees that ball parried, her body language changes. She's like, right, okay, that's mine, and finishes it into the bottom right corner.
Yeah, it's a fantastic hit from Ella Rutherford, but you can just see that Pesquet was on the move, and she was the sharpest to it.
Clinical.
Yeah, she was anticipating that. The Plymouth defenders were stood standing, and by the time that they did react to that initial save from Lily Felgate, it was just too late because Pesquet was in. and converting the rebound. 3-0. And Sophie Pesquet, who was also on the score sheet at Portman Road last season, scores again. She certainly is an attacking threat. I mean, possesses real quality, Sophie Pesquet. She was the Women's Player of the Season last season. She also took home a league honour. She was the League Player of the Season. She collected that award at Wembley at the end of last season. Just her goal contributions. I mean, she's got, what, a goal and an assist today as well.
Bread and butter. Town won't be happy with this though. They'll be wanting more. There's absolutely no sitting back and waiting for the remaining sort of 35 minutes to play out. They'll be wanting to put on a show here, score more and more goals. So there'll be no complacency, and any complacency will definitely be snuffed out by Joe Sheehan.
Here's Leah Mitchell carrying the ball forward. Ruby Doe just trying to scoop that towards Lucy O'Brien. Mitchell is strong, wins it back. Pesquet is going to be helped out by Ella Rutherford here. Rutherford's got a bit of space to assess what she wants to do with that. She wraps it into Lucy O'Brien, edge of the box. O'Brien combining with Ruby Doe. Here's Doe, Robertson. Rutherford just let that run, but there wasn't quite enough pace on that ball from Robertson to allow Rutherford to do that. It's picked up, but Ipswich have it back again. This is the pattern that we've been seeing most afternoon, and now it's Pesquet driving forward, and she's away from two into the box. It's Sophie Pesquet. It's brilliant. It's cut back for O'Brien, who can't hit the target. Well, it was magical from Pesquet. Got the beating of two Plymouth defenders in yellow, drove into the box, and it's the cut back towards the penalty spot. Lucy O'Brien coming onto it, but she just couldn't get over it, couldn't hit the target, and it remains Ipswich 3, Plymouth 0.
The build-up there, so smooth, so silky. And you could see O'Brien's gutted. She should be burying them. I'm no doubt that tonight she'll be replaying that moment in her head. But in terms of the Rutherford-Pesquet link-up, with Robertson supporting and Doe picking up the ball there as well, you would not want to be a Plymouth left-back at the minute.
Substitution, visitors leave midfielders players for 24, Ella Krajka.
Eva Kaiken is making way. Looks like she's carrying a bit of a knock. She's just being assisted off here by a member of the Plymouth medical staff. So the change is made as Georgie Knott comes on to replace Kaiken. Lily Felgate just going to put the ball on the edge of her 6-yard box here ahead of this goal kick. O'Brien shrugs off Pomfret a couple of times, and here is O'Brien, and it's just wide. Great work, great strength shown there. O'Brien into the penalty area. She was just trying to find that far corner, inches wide.
Came off the back of a weak free kick though from Felgate. Town picking up the ball, and then some silky feet from Ella Rutherford, and Lucy O'Brien on the weaker left foot couldn't quite put it into that bottom right corner. You could see what she was trying to do there, but it didn't really have the pace or direction. But again, it's lovely to watch.
That was Rutherford, wasn't it, with that strength? As there she is with a rather strong tackle, Ella Rutherford, committing a foul on the far side, about 15 yards inside the Plymouth half. Plymouth will try and get the ball forward here, but they just haven't been able to hold any form of territory in their final third. Pump long by Caitlin Smith. Waring heads away. Waring just playing that across to her left back, Summer Hughes. Garrod. Rare touch for Natalia Negri. Been a bit of a bystander this afternoon, the Ipswich goalkeeper. And look at that for a zip. Fantastic. And it's just miscontrolled by Summer Hughes, but Natalia Negri there. Not been too involved, but tried to have a bit of fun with that one as he zipped that out to the left-hand side.
Possesses that quality though now in a modern day keeper, in the fact she's comfortable and confident spraying balls and passes like that. You see it so much now that the keeper's job is not just to save shots, it's to start that play, and with Town's sort of style of play of being in possession, dominating possession, she fits that bill nicely.
And this is a teasing ball into the box as Whitmore delivers into the 6-yard box, but Negri is there and handles cleanly, falls on the ball. Natalia Negri, another member of this Ipswich Town squad who has youth international experience, joined in the summer after previously playing at Crystal Palace, where she was a member of the Crystal Palace squad that won the Women's Championship last season. Maisie Barker is stripped off, ready to come on for what will be a milestone appearance for Ipswich Town. It's going to be half a century of Ipswich Town appearances for Barker. What a day to hit that milestone.
Not bad, is it? You'd pick occasions like this to do it.
Wilson can't bring it down. And now that change will be made. So Summer Hughes, who has been full of energy and running down the Ipswich left, makes way. And on comes Maisie Barker for her 50th Ipswich Town appearance in front of a crowd of 11,000 strong in the sunshine at Portman Road. How's that for a landmark day?
You'd be happy the sun's now out. She's got space to attack. It's a like-for-like change, really, in the fact that Maisie loves to get forward and challenge that Plymouth right back. She's pacey, good on the ball, so you can expect to see her up and down that left flank, encouraging pressure and creating those 2v1s with O'Brien and Thomas.
Yeah, Katie Dixon, who's on the ball now, her task doesn't get any easier today. She's had to cope with the energy of Summer Hughes, and now she's got the fresh legs of Maisie Barker to contend with as well. Ball played forward, Waring underneath it. Robertson is going to have to be strong in midfield. She does leap highest. Helps that ball onto Rutherford, and now Peskett has green grass to run into. Look at her go, Sophie Peskett driving forward into the box, and she does get the shot away, but she couldn't quite get that ball out of her feet enough there. It was a strike at goal, not the contact she would have wanted. Comfortable save for Lily Felgate.
No, I think she saw her name in lights again. You can see Ella Rutherford after the ball's picked up. She's like, come on, give it to me. And I don't know whether she could squeeze the ball through there. I mean, it's hard to run at pace, at that rate of pace. I've never moved at that speed.
You and me both, Blue.
But I don't know whether there was space there to squeeze it through to Ella Rutherford for a better angle at a shot on target.
Yeah, I struggled to keep up talking that fast, let alone running that fast. As Robertson now has it, playing it to Leah Mitchell. Mitchell with a ball down the right channel. Now Papianu wants her goalkeeper to come for that, but Felgate didn't come, and then it's a loose kick out that is pounced on by Lucy O'Brien just outside the Plymouth penalty area. Here's Maisie Barker. She's going on an overlap, and she receives it from O'Brien. Barker delivering, and it's a deep one, and Papianu didn't look the most convincing there inside her 6-yard box. It could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for the Plymouth Argyle captain, it's out of play on this near side for an Ipswich throw. That was a tired right leg that was dangled at that cross, wasn't it?
That was a tired leg. That, like you said, it could have gone anywhere. Actually, from this angle, it looked like it was heading goalwards.
Rutherford with an effort from range, doesn't trouble Felgate. Felgate this time opting to take the goal kick short. Here's Dixon. Away from O'Brien, but O'Brien comes snapping back at Katie Dixon there, and Dixon is awarded the free kick. Again, Plymouth could really do with just having a presence to be able to hold this ball up, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ipswich win the initial contact and then get on the ball again. Let's see. It's going to be Caitlin Smith to look long. There it is, and runs all the way through to Natalia Negri. So once again, Ipswich are on the ball. 68 minutes played, Ipswich 3, Plymouth Argyle 0.
I was just looking at the Ipswich bench there to see, you know, will Joe Sheehan throw the dice and try and get a bit more attacking players on the pitch, but also there's that element of, you know, he has young players on the bench and whether he wants to give that experience to them, because this occasion is huge. So it'll be interesting to see. You'd expect if he is going to make some subs, it will be in the next sort of 5-10 minutes. Again, there are good attacking players such as Lucy Watson on the bench who carries a threat if he does want to push Plymouth right to that line.
That's the voice of former women's team captain Blue Wilson live on Town TV this afternoon. Here's Ruby Doe into Rutherford, and Rutherford had that idea. She spotted that run of Lucy O'Brien in behind, but she can't quite execute the pass. Rutherford picks up the loose ball on the halfway though. She's got Barker outside her. Rutherford just calming things down though. Ipswich starting from the back again. Garrod back into Ella Rutherford, and there goes Barker now, just trying to get in behind, but Dixon is able to turn it out of play for an Ipswich throw in front of the Cobbold stand. Third change of the afternoon for Plymouth. Amy Crawford is coming on. Ella Stevens will make way.
And she's to be replaced by number 8, Imogen Crawford.
And it looks like Joe Sheehan is preparing another change as well. It's not going to be made at this stoppage in play. But Ruby Seaby, the 18-year-old, is just receiving her final instructions. And we talked about her before kickoff. Blue, exciting talent. As that's rolled in behind for Pesquet to chase, and Roxy Thomas didn't have too many designs on the ball there as Pesquet is away from her, but she can't pick out Rutherford. Papianu stands resolute inside the 6-yard box. Interesting bit of defending from Roxy Thomas, who is then strong again to actually this time win the ball, take it away from Pesquet. It's going to be an Ipswich throw on this near side. Roxy Thomas knew she couldn't win that race, just tried to get across Pesquet there. Here's the throw into Natasha Thomas. Thomas playing it back to Sophie Pesquet. Pesquet goes down. She feels that she was pulled down there by Papianu. Fabio Roque, the referee, waves play on, and then Lucy O'Brien goes for a long range effort from all of 30-35 yards. Ambitious attempt, not quite on target. It was dropping.
Speculative, I'd call that. Speculative.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Remains 3-0. Ipswich Town leading the Pilgrims. Attempted ball forward from Georgia Wilson. Here's Lulu Jarvis. Natasha Thomas onto that, ahead of Taya Pomfret. And now look at Maisie Barker racing away down the left-hand side, approaching the penalty area, running at Caitlin Smith, trying to get that ball across. It's delivered in, Pesquet is there, and it's saved onto the post. That is a tremendous save from Lily Felgate. Pesquet steaming in to meet that cross. Felgate managed to readjust her body to get down to her right, tipped it onto the post and prevents a fourth goal. Terrific goalkeeping.
Yeah, that is great shot stopping. I mean, it's close range, centre of the goal. It comes from Maisie Barker moving at a speed, serious speed. Can't quite get it in with the first cross, blocked, then comes back on her right foot and Pesquet comes in. It's a great save.
So it was the transfer of body weight. Felgate, who was moving to her left, had to get back down to her right-hand side, tipped it onto the post. I think Ella Rutherford was once again having words with Sophie Pesquet.
I think the arms are in the air afterwards. There might be words after the game.
Ipswich denied by fabulous piece of goalkeeping from Felgate. But Barker is on the move again, and she's receiving that ball, is she, from O'Brien? She won't quite reach that. It's like a blue flash on that left-hand side, Maisie Barker. It's going to be a Plymouth throw on that far side, and this brief stoppage will allow Joe Sheehan to make 2 more changes. Natasha Thomas couldn't add to her goal in the first half, but it's another goal-scoring appearance at Portman Road for Town's all-time leading goal scorer. Lucy Watson comes on, and then Ella Rutherford also makes way. On comes the 18-year-old Ruby Seaby, who joined earlier this month. More fresh legs then for Joe Sheehan's side in the attacking areas.
Absolutely, two youngsters on the biggest stage that they'll play out this season. I mean, it's an opportunity you're sort of rubbing your hands at. So yeah, it'll be good to see and expose Ruby Seaby more to Town fans, and also hopefully Lucy Watson after loaning in January, we can see a bit more of her. So yeah, 2 really positive changes coming on the field.
Yeah, Lucy Watson on loan from Chelsea. Joined Chelsea back in 2022. First loan away from the London club was at Charlton, but she did her ACL in September of 2022, and it was a way back to return. Last year on loan at Crystal Palace. Like I say, a successful season for the Eagles as they won the Women's Championship to secure promotion to the WSL. And it's just getting a bit bitty at the moment. More changes being made, this time Plymouth Argyle, as Roxy Thomas makes way. On comes Lois Edwards. Now, want to get final 15 minutes of the game, it'd be good to see the game settle into a good rhythm again, wouldn't it? It's just,
I think so, yeah. The number I had in my head before the game started was 5. So if we can get that to that level, it is just going to take a bit more quality, a bit more stability that we've sort of lost in the past 10 minutes or so from Town, and hopefully these changes that have been made can have positive impacts. But like you say, Glenn, it is a bit bitty. Town won't like that. In their rhythm of play, it's crucial that they build up like they are with Garrett here to ultimately produce some football that is really nice to watch in his final 15 minutes.
Here's Barker. Pesquet, who's moved across the left side now. The challenge for her dealt with for the moment, but here's Ruby Doe. That midfield pairing have been neat, haven't they, today? They've just quietly gone about their business in there. Just as I say that, Kyra Robertson giving it away. Curse of the commentator, I think they call that. My apologies, Kyra, for that.
There we go. Ruby's won it back, so it's okay now. But ref's called it.
Yeah, O'Brien fouled, so Ipswich now have a free kick. Ruby, though, just getting back to her feet.
I always think, Glenn, if you don't notice the 2 defensive midfielders, it's usually because they've kept it ticking, and they've done the work which often no one sees in terms of clearing up. So yeah, it's been a stellar performance from both of them today. They won't grab the headlines, but they've kept the town team ticking. Tongue twister.
Yeah, exactly that. They've kind of set the tempo in that midfield, haven't they? The ball's always been moving and rotating possession. Here's Robertson now, just inside their own half. Mitchell is fouled by Wilson. Mitchell just taking the free kick back to Waring. Here's Doe, stroking it across to Grace Garrard. Barker in behind again, and she's racing onto that. Into the 18-yard box, but Taya Pomfret sticks to the task well, to be fair to her, clears it out for an Ipswich on the far side.
She's done well there, and to be fair to Plymouth, they've dealt with, I think, Peskett in particular, pretty well at times in terms of stopping crosses. They've given away a few free kicks, a few throw-ins in these final third, but ultimately it stopped that cross going in. So they have, in periods, they have dealt really well.
Ruby Doe makes her way off the field upon the far side. She's replaced by Elkie Bowyer. Again, we were just touching on the job that Darren Robertson have done in midfield. They've had a good outing at Portman Road. Here's Barker again. Peskett trying to just reverse that into Lucy Watson. Watson delivering towards CB, headed away by Papianu. Here's Garrard. First involvement for Elkie Bowyer. Robertson out to CB. CB trying to probe down the right-hand side. Can she get beyond Papianu? Yes, she can. And Papianu is going to be sent off here. A second yellow card brandished by Fabio Roque. CB was causing problems, got round the outside, and she was just hauled down by Papianu, who was being shown her marching orders. Plymouth reduced to 10.
Tell you what, Glenn, that is harsh.
Yeah, we're just seeing a replay of that now. I mean, CB was beyond, but
yeah, could go either way, but sending off.
It's one of those, isn't it, Blue, where not on a booking already.
Yeah.
You can tell that maybe a booking's fair, but Fabio Roque was immediately reaching for his pocket. There's the free kick, the effort, and it strikes the post, and then the follow-up can't be turned home. And Lucy Watson, who caught almost everyone by surprise, so close to finding the top corner, somehow hit the inside of the post and came out. And there's Elkie Bowyer, who couldn't quite hit the target with the follow-up. As the attendance is announced, 10,807, so it is a new record. It surpasses the 10,173 that watched the game last year against Chatham Town. 10,807, the attendance. Terrific effort from the Blue Army. And here come the Tractor Girls again. It's Peskett inside the box, cutting it back, and it's CB coming onto it this time. But again, meeting that in front of the front post, difficult opportunity. Out for a goal kick, Ipswich 3, Plymouth 0. Just Ipswich starting to ramp up the pressure again.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a sort of two chances there in quick succession, which, you'd back on being in the back of the net. So yeah, real pressure since Plymouth have had one sent off. But CB there, I think she's hoping for the ball on the floor. I'm not sure if she's a natural header. She's a tricky winger. If that's on the floor, I think it goes in.
Garrett playing it back to Negri, sorry, Blue.
I think it was Bowyer, the one before, where she just headed it over.
And that's given away by Natalia Negri, and the effort comes in. And Plymouth have got a goal with 82 on the clock. Charlotte Whitmore from range. You've got to say, that's a great finish from range. I mean, the opportunity was presented to her by Natalia Negri, but Charlotte Whitmore had a lot to do there, and she's managed to bend it round Megan Waring into the back of the net. 3-1. And there's still time. It'll take a heck of an effort from Plymouth Argyle to get back into this one. But that won't impress Joe Sheehan. Yeah, they wanted another clean sheet. It's something they've been so good at, Ipswich Town. A defensive record and keeping clean sheets, and certainly that back line will be infuriated by that as Plymouth do clear their lines. Pesquet, 20 yards from goal, and I think Lucy O'Brien had just
off there.
Felt that she just strayed offside, out for a goal kick.
Yeah, a bit of a shock to the system, that one. I can imagine that won't sit well with the defensive back line and Negri in goal. They'll be frustrated with that. So, yeah, it's 2-goal cushion, which is somewhat comfortable, but Town won't be happy.
Pesquet. He's hassling and harrying. Well, Town won't be happy at conceding that goal, but they will be happy with the scoreline in Wales, where Gwalia United have doubled their lead against #United. Gwalia United 2, #United 0, and that could be a massive result. Ipswich, who already had the fate of the title in their own hands, are now potentially being given some margin for error, which in this league, as we've seen over past seasons, is rare.
Absolutely, that is rare, and it's caught us in the past. I mean, losing the league on goal difference was a tough point, but to have that margin is ultimately so rare in this division. So Town won't be focused on that. They'll be focused on their own games coming up and the remainder of this game. However, it does make you sort of that breath in a little bit easier. And ultimately the main thing is that it's in Town's hands, and where that hasn't been in previous years, it's ultimately in their control where they finish this season and whether that promotion is secured.
Yeah, for sure. So #after today will only have 2 games remaining, which means that they can reach a maximum of 51 points as Ruby Seaby is driving towards the penalty area now. Seaby inside the box, plays it off. Lois Edwards out for a corner kick. But yeah, just mentioning that, so again, if the score remains or if the result remains the same at Gwalia United, can reach 51 points. Ipswich, if they come away from this one with all 3 points, will be on 45 points. And it's worth saying as well that Ipswich Town have a much, much better goal difference as well, which they'd like to add to in the remaining 4.5 minutes of this one. Corner taken short. Here's O'Brien. Lucy Watson, corner of the penalty area, goes for goal, and it's saved at the near post, and then Pesquet just snatched at that one. On the follow-up again, can't add to her tally for the afternoon. But Felgate, once more with a decent save. It remains Ipswich 3, Plymouth Argyle 1.
It looks like those short corners are catching Plymouth out a little bit in the quality that Pesquet and O'Brien possess on the ball. They can't quite match them, and it means that actually the Watson's got the ball in there. It's a great shot. It's got power on it, and Felgate, to be fair to her, has matched that. Garrard couldn't quite get the rebound, and then Pesquet has blasted it over.
Here is Bowyer. Robertson inside the centre circle, lifts her head and sprays it out to the right side. She gave Ruby Seaby quite a lot to do there, actually, and Seaby has managed to get on the ball again. It's now with Wilson. Mitchell is across, just watching that ball out for an Ipswich throw. Right beneath us here in the commentary position at Portman Road. Watson putting pressure on Caitlin Smith. Mitchell preparing to take this throw. High up the pitch, right-hand side for Ipswich. Receives it back from Seaby. Here's O'Brien into the box now. That was nice play from Lucy O'Brien. Pesquet trying to get her shot away, crowded out. Elkie Bowyer coming onto it. Cleared away by Georgia Wilson. Waring heading it forward. Waring there having to rise against Charlotte Whitmore. Whitmore, who was actually on target in the reverse fixture as well, the 5-1 Ipswich win at Home Park back in October. Mitchell, Robertson, just reached down the head of Whitmore, tries to squeeze that into Lucy O'Brien, who looked like she was barged over there by Imi Crawford. Leah Mitchell has it at right back, keeps it in play. Loose ball picked up by Wilson, and Wilson's going to try from range herself. Negri had it covered. It's off target, but why not in the closing stages? As we approach the final minute and a half of the 90, Georgia Wilson had space, had time, lined it up. Wasn't too far away from hitting the target there. Garrett. Barker on the move again, left-hand side. Can she reach that before it runs out of play? Yes, she can. She's got Lucy Watson up with her. Bowyer supporting too. Here is Elkie Bowyer, 25 yards out. Pesquet. Barker. Probing on that left side. Pesquet just inside the box. Lifts her head. Plays it back to Garrett. Garrett back into Pesquet, corner of the penalty area. There's the run from Watson. That was lovely teasing ball from Pesquet. Watson can't quite reach it. Plymouth clear away. Crawford can only clear as far as Kyra Robertson. Here's Bowyer. Ruby Seaby. Does she fancy a run round the outside where she's going to get the beating of Jarvis here, and she's delivering towards Pesquet, and Felgate there again to make the save.
What a save, by the way.
Pesquet now tripped, but I am sure that she thought that she had just got her second of the game. But on 2 occasions now, she's been thwarted by Lily Felgate. That was another terrific save from Felgate, and you've got to say, she has shown tremendous character during this game. Didn't start perfectly for her. Of course, she spilled that goal just 2 minutes into the game, but she has responded with some fine instances of goalkeeping, Lily Felgate, this afternoon.
Absolutely. You'd say that after that mistake, she's been Plymouth's best player. She's kept the minute, or kept the scoreline down, but Town working well as again with Seaby on this right-hand side, tricky feet, gets across him well. Pesquet is a great run, and yeah, I think she was probably already thinking about celebrating.
5 minutes added on at the end of this one. Delivery in from Garrett. How Ipswich would love to add another goal to their tally this afternoon. Ultimately, it looks like it's going to be job done, but they will want to experience that scoring feeling one more time. Corner kick. As Joe Sheehan makes a late change. Grace Garrett makes way. And on comes Evie Williams, another Town youngster who only made her senior debut last season. And she comes for a second opportunity to play at Portman Road. She actually started the game against Chatham Town last season. Corner taken short by Watson. Here's O'Brien. Watson once more across to Pesquet. Pesquet challenged on the edge of the Plymouth penalty area. Plymouth clear their lines. It's out for an Ipswich throw on this near side.
I just think that pass there needs to be cuter into Pesquet's feet to allow the touch to be better for a potential shot on target.
17, Sophie Pesquet.
As the player of the match is announced here at Portman Road, Sophie Pesquet wins that honour. And certainly in that first half performance, I mean, she was so bright down that right side. She got that assistancy for Natasha Thomas. She then got her goal in this second half, so a goal and assist for Sophie Pesquet, but that's becoming fairly customary, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Town Women's Player of the Season last season. I'd say the best player in the league last season. That award she picked up at Wembley at the end of last season.
I'd like to add to that, comfortably the best player in the league last season. Comfortably. So yeah, she deserves all the credit that she gets, and I think we've always known that Sophie Pesquet and this team now belongs at a higher division. So hopefully they can achieve that.
Well, that is the dream. That is the ambition that Joe Sheehan and his side have. They've been close before, but now they really are moving into a position where they are favourites to win this league title and move into the Women's Championship. There's still a lot of football to be played, and the message will be one game at a time, but it's a fantastic position to be in. As Maisie Barker receives the ball from Williams on the left side. Pesquet, Robertson. O'Brien can't quite reach that. Here's Lulu Jarvis. Back to Felgate. I echo that sentiment. I mean, Sophie Pesquet player of the match, but I think Lily Felgate for Plymouth. Really, her performance is worth noting, because more damage could have been done by Ipswich Town this afternoon, as Jarvis is forced to concede a corner kick here. Less than 30 seconds of the 5 added remaining, so this could be one final chance for Ipswich to add to their tally. Looks like the 3 points, they're in the bag. I'm sure they'd love to bag a fourth. Here is Watson, she is going to hit it, and it drops on Williams, and it comes so close to that fourth goal. Felgate couldn't collect cleanly initially. The loose ball dropped to Evie Williams, who couldn't quite stab it home.
It's that same pattern again, though, isn't it, Graham? A shot, parry, oh, it's unlucky.
Williams, she just managed to poke it through the legs of Felgate, and just as she was going to stab it home, I think it was Lois Edwards managing to divert it against Williams out of play. But that is that at Portman Road. A fantastic occasion for Ipswich Town women. They love playing here, they love scoring here, they love winning here. Their job was made much easier when they hit the front after just 2 minutes. Lucy O'Brien capitalising on a spill from Lily Felgate. That settled any nerves that there may have been, and in Ipswich were the better side. Plymouth really did struggle to just gain any territory, and it was wave after wave of Ipswich attack, really. Natasha Thomas got her goal, rising highest to head home a Sophie Pesquet cross. And Pesquet, after assisting, was then on hand to score Ipswich Town's third in the second half. Ipswich would have loved to have kept a clean sheet, but it wasn't to be. Charlotte Whitmore with a smart finish from range to make it 3-1. That's how the scoring ended, but the big news is that Ipswich are moving to the top of the table. Hashtag United behind at Gwalior United in another big game in the division. So it looks like Ipswich are moving top, and their dreams of promotion, of winning the title and bringing Women's Championship football to Suffolk, look like they are becoming more and more a reality. It's been a fantastic afternoon, Blue Wilson. What are your thoughts, just summarising what's been a great win for Ipswich Town?
Yeah, I think ultimately it's a professional and mature performance from Ipswich. They perhaps haven't capitalised on as many chances and put it into the back of the net, but ultimately it's been clinical at times. They've absolutely dominated this game. and it's a performance to be proud of. It's not easy playing in front of this many people when you're not used to it, and there was no sign of nerves. They've made the occasion, and ultimately it's been a great day out. 3 points, a good performance, 3 goals, and top of the table. Doesn't get much better.
And even the sun came out as well. But
it made a short appearance, yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's been wonderful. As it was last year, it's been wonderful again. And we've had that record crowd as well, which, you know, is something really special. The fan base of this great football club getting behind the women's team. And, you know, we will see those great scenes now. We saw them last year, we're going to see them again. Of course, the Ipswich squad doing that lap of the pitch. But you can see that the advertising boards are lined up around the perimeter of the pitch with fans who want to get a photo, want to get an autograph. And it just makes this day even more special, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And I know the girls will love this too. The amount of fans they get at Felixstowe is best in the league. So to come to here and be able to give fans the close-up experience and showcase what they're made of is ultimately a day that they won't forget. And I hope that going forwards there's more occasions that Ipswich Town women can showcase what they've performed here as they celebrate in front of the supporters. Yeah, I hope lots, boys and girls and people of all ages have been inspired from what they've seen today, because it's been a journey, especially for players like Tash Thomas, who ultimately were paying to play not long ago. To be here on this stage in a stadium which is an amazing historic stadium, and to be able to put on a performance like that is, yeah, unforgettable.
Yeah, I think the word you've used there, Blue, which is absolutely right, is showcase. You know, the 2 times that this side have played here at Portman Road, they have absolutely showcased their talent. And I guess how far they've come in a short space of time. They only made it to the 3rd tier. They only played in the 3rd tier for the first time in 2021. You know, they have risen up, and the development of this group, of this squad, is quite something. And it looks like now, hopefully, you know, they're going to be playing in the 2nd tier of the women's game next season, which, you know, there's still a lot to do, but that absolutely has to be the dream, and it's in their hands.
Absolutely, it's in their hands, and I'd urge anyone who's enjoyed watching, listening to this team today, that next Sunday they've got a game against Gwalior United, so the team that have beat #today. Sunday at the Mortello ground at 1 p.m. If you want to keep on following this team and get them over the line this season, I'd urge you to go and have a look, because it's a great occasion every Sunday.
Yeah, and everyone at this club knows how fun celebrating promotion is as well. Yeah, they're just finishing their lap now, these Ipswich Town players. It's an opportunity for us to look at the highlights from that 3-1 win, which, I say, got up and running very early indeed. It was that, I'd say, within the opening 2 minutes really, Natasha Thomas showing great strength to receive that throw, get that ball across. Although Felgate would have felt that she should have done better, Lucy O'Brien had to make sure that she was in the right place at the right time, and she was rewarded with a tap in blue.
Absolutely. It was on a plate for her, and she, to be fair to her, she was in the right place at the right time and quickest to it.
I mentioned it's the stuff of dreams, scoring at Portman Road in front of the Sir Bobby Robson stand. It's what she would have been dreaming of last night, and she couldn't have dreamt for a simpler chance, really. Ipswich kept coming after that, the nerves were settled, and Sophie Pesquet providing, as she so often does, a cross into the 6-yard box. Natasha Thomas, as she so often does, applying the finishing touch.
I think anyone who's watched Ipswich Town women this season is that combination is routine. Again, clinical from Tash to put it in the back of the net, and yeah, you would have bet on anyone. If you were going to bet on anyone scoring today, it would have been Natasha Thomas.
Pesquet linking up with Leah Mitchell, those two on the right-hand side, I thought combined terrifically well throughout the game. Pesquet just digging it out of her feet, getting away from Roxy Thomas, standing it up, and Natasha Thomas just wanted it more. It's 3 goals in 2 games at Portman Road for her. Ipswich continued the scoring in the second half as Pesquet got the third, just too sharp on the follow-up. It was a great initial challenge from O'Brien actually in midfield. Robertson rolling it into Rutherford, who really did hammer at goalwards. Decent initial save from Felgate, but she was powerless with Pesquet on the follow-up. 3-0, and that really did put the result beyond any doubt. Pesquet, again, another goal scorer who got on the score sheet last season, and then Lucy Watson caught everyone by surprise with a free kick from the right, wrapped it towards that back post, somehow hit the inside of the post and stayed out. And then I think it was Elke Bowyer on the follow-up, just couldn't get over it.
It's an audible gasp in the stadium. I don't think anyone was expecting that to be as close as it was.
Caught me off guard as well, I think, up here.
I mean, the angle of the free kick to do that, to even challenge the post is quite something.
Plymouth did get their goal. It's been a long journey for them, so something for the Pilgrims to celebrate. Whitmore presented with the opportunity. She had a lot to do, though, from 35 yards out, but she did it expertly, used that left foot to bend it around Megan Waring into the unguarded net. That wrapped up the scoring, and that wrapped up the day here at Portman Road. Ipswich moving to the top of the table, like I say, and as Blue said, they'll be next in action on Sunday the 30th of March, so next weekend as they host Gwalior United at the Martello Ground in Felixstowe. Kick-off at 1 p.m, so head on across to Felixstowe to watch that one. But for now, from everyone at Town TV this afternoon, thank you very much for joining us. Ipswich have won here at Portman Road by 3 goals to 1 against Plymouth Argyle.